it, and nothing can stop me. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
All right. It is Wednesday night already. Man, wasn't it just Sunday? Wasn't we just around each other this past Sunday night? It's Wednesday night already. We're back. My name is Andre of Andre and Andrea's Love Crossing Border. We got 22 people in the building. Make sure you click that like button. I like you. Make sure you like us too. We got a great topic for tonight. And it is not just something that I experience. I haven't talked about this often, but I do experience a form of expat PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I do, and many other expats, and it's rarely talked about. Now, we're not taking for granted what our military brothers and sisters go through or have gone through. We're not saying those who are descendants of enslavement that still talk about what we carry within our DNA, the stress of our ancestors. I'm not taking that for granted. We're not talking about that. But many expats are discussing now on TikTok some of the things that they didn't know that they had in their systems, and they realize that they have those issues after they move outside of the states. This is not an anti-United States rant or topic, but there are those of us that are somewhat not just traumatized, but programmed and have to get reprogrammed due to the behavior that or the environment in which we were raised in the United States. So we're going to talk about that in details. We're going to listen to some videos. We're going to listen to what others have to say other than myself. I'm going to start off with an example before I do the shout outs. A couple weeks ago, many of us meet up at the sports bar every Monday evening. If you're coming to Cali, you already know, go to Reggae and Pops Sports Bar in Chippy Chippy Mall. We're always there, whether you're male or female, all just a bunch of us brothers and sisters get together, just hang out, enjoy American music, and just have a good time. Well, this past week, there was a confrontation. It wasn't me. Me and a bunch of us, we're on the other side. They're closing down the bar. They're putting up the chairs. Everybody's paid their bills. We're about to walk out. And some Colombian guy says he was fluent in English, says he's from Chicago. And you shouldn't be here, and we don't want you guys here, and blah, 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 blah. Even though he's from the shot. Mind you, a Colombian dude from the shot. My family owns this, so forth and so forth. My family owns this, so forth and so forth. And let me see if my family owns this, so forth and so forth. And he just bragging. Most of us ignored the dude. We walked away. But one of our partners handled it like an American would handle in America. I'm going to say that part again. Handle the situation like an American would in America. What's the first thing that we do in America? We get into our emotions. Don't matter if you're black, white, purple, or purple. Americans are some emotional ass people. We always quick to do something. We'll pull a trigger. We'll slap a because we're so emotional. Emotional. Hey Theo, I'm gonna put you in the as a moderator as soon as I get a chance. So I need you to put some in the comment section other than the super sticker, because it doesn't let me put you in moderator with a sticker. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me see. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, because even with other people, it does not let me. Come on, Andre, get it together. Okay. But that comes from the post-traumatic stress of being a U.S. citizen, living in the United States, and we react the way that we do. What ends up happening? The American dude swings on a Colombian dude in Colombia. He was on gravel when he swung. He over 40 years old. If you over 40 years old and you still swinging on dudes, especially in another country, you doing it all wrong. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can get Theo in here. I'm gonna get this, man. See, because I can't see who has a wrench and who doesn't have a wrench. I'm gonna get it right, Theo. Unless Charles or Stefano, if you both are in here, if you guys know how to give out the wrenches, I don't know how to give out the wrenches. If you can give my man Theo of Do Better podcast, shout out to this brother. Make sure you subscribe to this brother's channel, because every morning, man, I have a good that video with the old lady that was the school teacher that came to work drunk. Okay, you say go to setting. So I got to go to my YouTube settings, or do I go to StreamYard settings? Okay, go to settings. So I'm on StreamYard settings. Should I go to my YouTube settings or audio? See, it must be my YouTube settings. Okay, I'll get to it in a second. Once I get done with this intro, I'm going to go to my YouTube settings. That's probably what it is. Let me switch that over. See, now y'all got it on my mind right now. Got so many dang channels. Okay. Here's the scenario. This brother ended up slipping on the rocks, and his ankle popped, looking like Joe Theismann's leg when Lawrence Taylor tackled him. I kid you not, it was bad. I mean, it was bad. Police had to come, and I mean, it was the whole dance. So I'm in settings right now, guys. So do I go to permission or general channel? So I'm in channel, advanced settings, feature eligibility, community. Oh, so I add Theo right here. Okay, so I'm gonna add Theo in a moment. Add managing my. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Now I know what to do. Let me see if I can get it. Give me a second to get Theo's in. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning how this goes. I should know better. I should know better. The Do Better podcast. There we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this. Thank you guys for your patience. Let me make sure I spell everything correctly. Get it all just right. Let me see if I got it. Got it right. I hope I got it right. Yep, I got it. So you should be. Let me know if you got the if you got the if I did it right, Theo. Let me know if I did it right. But the dude ended up snapping his leg. The brother from the States ended up snapping his leg. Ended up having to go to the hospital. This is right now. This is one of his busiest work seasons for his business, his online business. All of this shut down because he responded and reacted like an American will react. Like an American will react. And I've seen this too many times where we come to other countries and we don't realize you can't react or handle or converse or expect. I see another form of PSD with PSD that Americans have when it comes to food in other countries. Americans bitch about how much or how little seasonings or condiments, the mayonnaise, the ketchup, the hot sauce, will complain about other countries' foods, not knowing your PTSD is that you were programmed to cover the taste of the filthy American food. You have to have that level of seasoning. You have to have that level of hot sauce, barbecue sauce, ketchup, all that we cover our meats in the States. Why? Because American chicken is based and cleansed in chlorine. Same chlorine that they put in the swimming pools. All American chickens are cleansed in that. We all know about American cow. They get mad every once in a while. Most American fish, beef, pork, poultry is illegal in other countries. So we're not used to eating a healthy chicken that doesn't need to have Lawry seasoning salt, Old Bay for your fish, barbecue sauce for your ribs. You notice that when you come to other countries, everybody's not dousing their food, but we're so programmed. We are so programmed in the States that we assume that when we go to other countries, that the way that we eat it is the right way that's eating when it comes to eating foods. And you find out your PTSD is that you can't get over the fact that you've been eating it wrong in the United States the whole time. And that's why many of our foods, over 116 different foods, are illegal in other countries. But you're programmed to think that it's the right thing. So we're going to listen to some Americans that talk about, after I get a shout outs to you guys, we're going to listen to some Americans that literally discuss what it's like to live in other countries and realize that your brain, basically, you've been lied to. I was lied to. You've been programmed the wrong way. The other 98% of the world does not think like we do. We have issues. We've got problems. We're one of the few countries in the world that actually are comfortable with people walking into the schools and putting hot balls in our children, and we don't change the laws after all these years. We just look at it as it is what it is. Let's cry and move on to the next one. We're the only country in the world that's literally programmed to be comfortable with people walking up into a church or a mosque or a synagogue and acting a fool. We're the only ones. There's no other country that you can say that they're so comfortable with it that they don't change the laws. Even Canada changed the laws after so much of that mess. Australia changed their laws. There's enough of this. There's a young woman who lives in Europe. She was having dinner with her friends and colleagues that she's been living there for 10 years. They just so happen to be talking about their favorite meal. And the young lady said, well, in the United States, the last meal is usually blah, 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 blah. And everybody looked at her like, what are you talking about, the last meal? And she said, yeah, right before you get executed or a person gets executed for committing certain, crimes against humanity, they get a last meal request. That's how they do it in our country. She didn't realize she's so programmed. There's only 3 to 5 countries in the world that actually still do executions. Most of them are in the Middle East and then the United States. We are actually so programmed, so much PTSD, so much trauma of people, their last meal before they get lethal injection or the chair or however they're going to do it, that we actually think that it's regular conversation in other countries because it's regular conversation in our country. There's a lot of expats, including myself. I'm going to tell y'all something. I just told one brother this story, in all sincerity, true story. My first 2 years of being, now I had dated women from around the world before, but this is my first real serious relationship, right? My first 2 years with Andrea, I was so used to American women, no matter if they were Miss AKA, Miss Sorority, or whether they were Aisha from the hood. I was so used to women popping off at simple stuff or questioning me on simple stuff, even if they didn't pop off, even if they were kind of, ladylike about it, or question. I was so used to women in the States. Let's put it like this, not even say pop off. I was so used to women in the United States questioning my judgment when it comes to certain things. I expected it from Andrea for 2 years. This is the first time I ever said this, other than when I told her brother during a consultation a few minutes ago. I literally expected Andrea's, I would do something that I knew that in the States, it would be questioned by a woman. Whether it be her being nice about it or whatever it was, but it was questioned. When I did it here, I was bracing myself to literally give an answer to that person, give an answer to Andrea, and she never questioned. It never happened. I was so programmed in the States to be questioned by my decisions that even it took me 2 years to get over that traumatic experience. You don't even know that it's traumatic. You don't even know that you're going through it. You don't think that's a big deal. This dude's woman questioned him. That guy's woman questioned him. Doesn't matter what race, color, creed, women question men. And you think that that's what it is. And so you don't see the trauma in it. You don't see the mental manipulation that it does to you in your life. And I'm 50 years old when I was going through this for 2 years. 2 years. It took me 2 years to get used to a woman not questioning my decision in certain areas. And I'm talking about minute areas, not the major, nothing like bank account or investment type of, or what are we going to eat for dinner? It was just little simple, minute things that I'm so used to women in the United States questioning. Am I sure about that? That here in Colombia, I was expecting a response that never happened. That's PTSD. You're traumatized. And a lot of us don't want to talk about this. YouTubers don't talk about a lot of times when you're expat, you got to get over some shit. Am I lying? When you move to these other countries, you realize you ain't used to being around femininity like that. I said it. No matter what race, color, creed she comes from, there are a few feminine women in the United States, but you are not used to being around full-fledged 99.9% femininity around women like this. You are not. Some of us, we are not used to being around this level of masculinity on a 24-hour basis. We might got a partner over here that's masculine. You might be masculine, a couple other partners, but we ain't used to being around a whole country or city of masculine motherfuckers. Because that's not why we in the States we got beta males. We got what's the sigma males out there right now that just don't give up. Sigma males, just the laid back brothers. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. But to be around alphas on the regular, I wasn't used to that. And I didn't realize I wasn't used to that until I left the United States. Once again, this is not a rant against our country, 'tis of thee. But this is what this topic is about. It's about when you move to another country. I'm not, hear me out. Public service announcement. Let's take a commercial break. I'm not talking to you party brothers that come down here on vacation. I'm not talking to you brothers. I got you. I'm with you, brother. You dudes that are sex tourists. I got you, brother. Get it in, bro. I'm with you, bro. But I ain't talking to you. You dudes that travel from country to country to country. I don't care if you're a YouTuber or you just do it because that's what you do. I'm with you, brother. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to real people that decided that I'm going to eventually, or I already have, relocated outside of my home country, and I discovered some things about myself because my country taught me that, and I found out it was some old bullshit. I found out that half the stuff that's running around my brain is not how the rest of the world works. Women don't think like that around the world. Men don't act like that around the world. Kids don't have to worry about that around the world. That's just in my country where I'm sitting up here, got to look at this. Dude, you know how long it took me? I'm telling y'all, I'm giving taxi cab confessions. Do you know how long it took me to overcome when I'm driving through Colombia? It took me about a good year. I ain't never told Andre this. It took me about a good year when I saw flashing lights coming. They ain't coming to bother me. Notice, I didn't say they're coming for me. I said they're not coming to bother me, because we know police in the United States, they will come bother you, get on your last nerve, start an argument. I'm just talking to you. I'm just asking you questions. So you got a problem with me asking you questions? You coming home from work. You ain't bothering nobody, ain't saying nothing to nobody. Next thing you know, you in a morgue somewhere because the police stopped to start some, because he ain't got nothing else to do but go to the donut shop in the States and start some. And I'm talking to all you police officers. We love you. All you guys that's ex-police officers, that's what you do. Eat donuts, start. I tell dudes all the time, I can't remember the last time police officers stopped a crime. Y'all always come after the fact when the body's laying there, when the female already got the black eye, when the child is already missing, when the person already stole what they done stole. Y'all come after the crime, want to take reports and everything. Y'all ain't never stopped nothing. I've seen Scooby-Doo stop more crimes than the average police officer. And Scooby-Doo is a cartoon. I've seen Scooby and Shaggy solve more crimes than police in the United States, and they didn't have to have a snitch. Thelma didn't have to, with her fine. See, some of y'all some Daphne dudes. I'm a Thelma dude. Give me the female with the, y'all know me, I like a cute nerd. Give me Thelma thick with the, Thelma had with the turtleneck. You knew what Thelma was working with that skirt on. Come on now. Thelma, Daphne. solve more crimes and mysteries than your average police officer. Stop me when I'm lying. Police don't come when the crime is going on and we save the day. No, they come after with dogs to chase. They so donut filled, they had to hire dogs to chase dudes down. Get him, Lassie. Get him, Rux. Bear, get him. Here in Colombia, it took me about a year to get used to the two things. Kid you not. The fact when police are riding by, they ain't riding for me. Second thing is flashing lights are legal in Colombia for regular motorcycles. Thanks, babe. For regular motorcycles. Yeah, them same flashing lights that you see on a motorcycle in the States coming down the freeway, coming to bother you, you'll see Colombia riding down the street with the flashing lights, trying to make sure that don't no car or nothing hit them. Just you'll see the flashing lights. You'll see people riding on the freeway, flashing lights so you can see when they're going around the curve. But you've been programmed in the States, and I know I was programmed in the States. I'm thinking that, so the first couple of times I saw flashing lights, I'm thinking like, that's the police. And it's just a regular couple riding down the street. A lot of us go through PTSD as expats, and we don't tell that story. A lot of us don't want to tell that story. A lot of us. We want to make it seem like relocating to other countries is all roses and rainbows. In a lot of ways it is. But when it comes to unlearning the stuff that you do not, I'm going to tell y'all something in all sincerity. Until you not just travel outside the United States or vacation outside the United States, but you live outside the United States, you will not know how fucked up your head is until you get out the United States. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You will not know how messed up your head is when it comes to relationship, when it comes to networking, when it comes to Americans talking so damn loud. I've had to learn to lower my volume about 2 octaves because in most countries, people don't talk that loud when they converse in groups. If you ever want to see or know where the Americans are, just look for the loudest ones in the city. We some loud motherfucker. We are loud and we don't notice it. It's not like we going around being loud for nothing. It doesn't matter what race you are. Doesn't matter what race, color, creed. We are some loud motherfuckers. And other countries look at us like it don't even take all that. Can y'all hear what's going on? We've been programmed to behave certain ways that we don't notice until we leave our home country and realize it doesn't take all that. That's what my point about this video is. Let me get ready to get a shout out. Shout out to my man Victory in the building. He said, in line from another great live stream. Yes, sir, Victory. Yes, sir. Like I said, shout out to all you guys that are ex-military, all you guys that understand what it's like to are still battling things that are in our system post-slavery. We're still battling. We're only like 5-6 generations outside of slavery, guys. It has not been that long. So a lot of trauma that our great-grandmothers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers went through is still in our system. We still got to overcome a lot of stuff that they didn't get a chance to overcome. That PTSD, I understand that. That's traumatic. To be a slave for 400 years is traumatic. To sit back and live in a country to live in a country where they would not give you business loans as a black person to build businesses in a black community, but they wouldn't give business loans to Asian people to build businesses in Asian communities, in white communities. I'm going to say that again. They would not give Asians in America loans to build businesses in Asian communities or white communities, but they would give them loans to build businesses in black communities. The same ones that wouldn't give you a loan to build in your community would give them loans to build in your community. That's why you have so many Asian businesses in Latin businesses, in Black communities, in Middle Eastern businesses, compared to Black businesses in our own communities, because they wouldn't give us the loans to do. That's traumatic. That's traumatic to sit back and watch everybody else take your money out of their community and take it back to their community. That's not easy to do for 400 years. So I understand that PTSD that people of color go through. We sit back, and I sit back when it comes to being Black. Here's another one. I'm about to get back to the comment. Here's another PTSD that we go through as Black people in the United States. Y'all ready? I'm about to bust your head with a good one. We sit back and criticize Dominicans because they don't want to confess that they're Black first. Colombians, because they don't want to say that they're Black first. Haitians, they ain't saying that. A lot of the island cultures, Panamanian, nobody's saying they're Black first. Notice how I word that? But people in the United States. In other words, we are programmed because we don't have a culture to go back to, because we don't know where we're from. And because we don't have our own flag, and we don't have a particular one or two ethnicities to point to as people in America, we hang our umbrella on our race. So we talk about loving being Black, the power of Black power, Ungawa. Black is beautiful. All these things are true. But we don't realize, because we've been so programmed to lean on our race, because that's all we got is this, the complexion. We have no flag. Most of us don't know what culture or country we came from, but we do have one thing, this, the complexion. So when our Dominican brothers and sisters say, I'm Dominican first, my ethnicity and my nationality first, we can't relate to it. What you Blacker than I am. No, brother. No Negro. Dominican. And you wonder why Dominicans and Haitians and Colombians and Brazilians, and you looking at them, they just as Black as you are, but they will not talk about their Blackness before they talk about their ethnicity or their nationality first, because they have something to lean on, and we can't relate to that. That's our PTSD. That's why you sit back and look at Haitians, we laugh at them. We look at Dominicans, we laugh at them. Look at the Dominicans. They don't want to admit that they Black. No, they're admitting what they have been raised to know. I am of this nationality. I have a flag. I have a national, we have a national song, national anthem. We have a money. We have our own monies. I have a nation. I have my own nation. Haitians feel the same way. We have our own nation. You ain't got no nation, Black people in the United States, so you can't relate to ethnicity and nationality. And here's the funny part. What busts a lot of our heads open is this, with the PTSD. What do they call you once you leave the United States, guys? Do they call you Black? What do they call you? Your nationality. What is that? American. Do you ever feel like your nationality in the States, or do you feel more like your race in the States? Do they remind you that you're American in the States a lot, or do everybody want to remind you that you are Black? Black people all day going to tell you that you're Black. White people going to tell you that you're Black. Your school teachers, your co-workers, your pastor, your imam, everybody's going to remind you that you are Black. Very few people in the United States talk about being American, except for maybe holidays or something. But they do not make people of color feel American. And as soon as you cross over the threshold, you traveling or visiting somewhere, they do not say, look at the black man, do they? What do they say? Look at the American. I have never felt more like my nationality than since I left the United States, because I'm no longer dealing with the PTSD of having to look at my race first. I'm still black, but I'm not black first in the eyes of the rest of the world. You are not black first. You are American first in the eyes of the rest of the world. Then, yes, you're a black man. You line us up in Europe, they're going to differentiate between you, American black man, and that South American over there. Why? Nationalities and ethnicity goes first, or spoken of first, or represented first in most countries. Now, is there racism in other countries just like it could be in the States? Yes, but at least you know these other countries are going to see you as American first, and then they're going to decide on what they're going to do with your race after that. We got 57 people in the building. Make sure all you guys click that like button. I like you. Make sure you like us too. Let me hit the brothers with the super chats first, and then I'm going to come in with the shout outs. My man, do better. Hey, let me let me know if I did it right, Theo, when it comes to setting you up as a moderator. Because I put you in, I made sure I put it in just right. Shout out to you again. Once again, my man Theo's in the building. Appreciate you, brother. I really do. Father of many nations, my man Abraham, he said, when I was young and when we were poor, that we had to catch almost all our food. The first time I had KFC, I vomit. I was just watching a video of a woman from the United States that's been living in Mexico. She said, when I go back to the United States to take care of business, she said, or when I go back to visit family, she said, most of what I eat are fruits and vegetables. She said, my stomach is no longer used to eating American meat. She said, the meat that I know and love and all my favorite restaurants and she said, I cannot eat American beef like that. She said, my stomach can't tolerate it. I've lived outside the United States too long. She said, I'm not used to having to cover or mask my food with barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, heavy seasonings. Some of you guys are coming down here to Colombia and like, Colombians, that food is black. No, the reason why and I've heard some of you guys go talk about that with Europe. I see some of you guys even said that in certain places of Brazil. The reason why you say that, because most countries give it a certain amount of seasoning, and that's all it takes, because the food is so healthy and good for you, and everybody knows all that seasoning is not. I once heard Mike Tyson said this: most people don't know salt holds water. He said that's why a lot of boxers don't season their food like that, because you don't need all that extra water weight. And salt and heavy seasonings like Lawry's seasoning salt and regular salts hold a lot of water. That's why these other countries, they give you salt, but they don't douse it in all different type of seasonings. Many of us, when we cook, we use sometimes 3, 4, 5 different seasonings. We got paprika. We got the Lawry seasoning salt. We got the Old Bay. We got Mrs. Fields and Mrs. Dash got all type of seasonings. You go into Walmart, it's like 30 different type of seasonings. You go to other countries, it ain't that many seasons. You got your Cajun seasonings. You just season everything up. Why? Because that food, if you eat American chicken with no seasoning, American fish with no seasoning, beef, pork with no seasoning, you will tell the difference. You'll tell how unhealthy that is. And you can taste it. So in America, in the West, let's put it like this. in Canada too, and probably in UK, you gotta season that. So when y'all come to Colombia talking about the food was bland, it should have been. Your PTSD just kicked in, and you so used to having to douse food with seasoning, you don't know any better. I didn't know any better. I'm relearning all that my brain has been dude. Oh my goodness, man. You just do not know how much stuff I had to unlearn. He's right. The first time I had KFC, I vomit. Shout out to my man Ethan's in the building. He says, thank you for the list of spots in your email. Shout out to you, brother. He said, I'm going to take the girl out on Friday, Andrea's birthday. Any advice and tips for me trying to be serious? Take her to a nice spot in Granada area. All those restaurants and bars over there, man, Granada, you can't miss. There's not one bar or restaurant that you can miss in Granada. It's all really fancy, really nice date type of spots. I'm going to spell Granada for you here in Cali. I'm going to spell it for you. It's real simple. So I just put that off in there. Let me get ready to go back to these shout outs. Stop all that rambling, Andre. Thank you guys once again for the super chats. Shout out to my man Stefano and said, hola, my gentes. Got therapy? Because he says it's a real one here. Yes, sir. Make sure that you pay attention in showing your support for a great video Dre has tonight. Hit that like button and keep it clean in the chat like you gentlemen always do. Shout out to you, Stefano, for being here. Once again, my man Mike is in the building. Yes, sir. OGs, triple OGs in the building representing. All right, my man Twan. Shout out to you. Salute, kind sir, for being here. Also, Fatty's in the building. McJohn. How do you John? What it do? I like that title. Kenny Peoples is always the man. You don't have a live stream if Kenny's not here. Shout out to my man Kenny and Afro National. You already know. Salute to you, also, brother. Great topic. Yeah. I'm doing taxi cab confessions tonight, and like I said, we have a video of several other people that are expats saying the same things, that they didn't realize that they had been traumatized in the States. We're used to serial deleters. We're used to that. We're used to when we turn on the news, it's going to be bad news, good news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, good. We're used to it. That's not the situation in every country, in every city. Some countries, yes, most countries got political issues to deal with. Yes, there are criminals, and no matter where you go in the world. Yes, it is. But we're programmed to be accustomed to it. Not necessarily comfortable, but accustomed to it. That it is what it is. We don't put up as much of a fight when we sit back. Notice as time has gone on, I mentioned this last week, and there's been two more. 565. 565 mass deletions in the United States since the beginning of the year to mid-October. And there's been two more since then. 500. Now, mass deletion is defined as the deletion of at least 4 people or more. Over 565 times in our home country, Tisabee. It happens so often that we might mourn for 2 days. Oh, that's sad. I'm praying for the people's family. They need to do something about these laws. And after that, we don't say nothing else until the next fool walk into somebody's church. The United States FBI yesterday already sent out a warning to U.S. citizens that because the borders are so open and so many immigrants are coming in, that they're worried that people that want to do harm to U.S. citizens are going to start coming in from the Middle East and other areas. The FBI just put that out yesterday. The trauma of being in a country that you have to worry about that, you don't realize how traumatic that is until you go to another country and you ain't got to worry about it no more. One of the reasons why people consider South America as the place to go to since World War II, guess who was coming down to South America because they knew was no wars going down here since World War II? The Germans and Europeans and other European nations. They flooded Brazil so much that Brazil was actually giving Europeans instantaneous citizenships right off the boat and paid for the boat rides for thousands upon thousands of Europeans to come here after World War II and beyond. The Germans ran right to Argentina. And you can still see the fingerprint of the Germans in Argentina to this day. They knew they could not run to the Middle East and there would not worry about wars. They knew they couldn't run to Africa and not worry about wars. Couldn't run to the United States and not worry about wars. What continent can you run to and you ain't got to worry about no wars? Maybe infights, but as far as country versus country, only one continent left. South America. We ain't talking about Antarctic and the Arctic. We're talking about developed continent. South America. That's one of the reasons why so many people are moving down here, because they don't have to worry about country versus country conflicts. I can't even remember the last time one of these 12 countries got into a beef with another country. I'm talking about pulling out some artillery beef. What? Venezuela? When the last time you saw Venezuela pull out some artillery? Maybe, like I say, maybe some in-country scuffles, but you ain't seen Venezuela versus Brazil. You ain't seen Brazil versus Suriname. You ain't seen Suriname pull out their artillery against Uruguay and Paraguay. Come on, when was the last time you heard Chile versus Ecuador? Panama versus Colombia? You don't. This is the last one. This is the last continent that ain't nobody aiming nothing to. They ain't got to worry about no missile coming their way or nothing. They ain't bothering nobody. And people are moving down here in droves. But as we move down to these other countries, we have to realize there is a lot of post-traumatic stress that we've dealt with in the United States. And you won't notice it, I promise you. While you live in the States, you think that it's just everyday life. And I'm not putting down everyday life in the States. Do not think that. What I'm saying is the things that we consider the norm back home is abnormal in many, many countries. It's very abnormal behavior. Name the country in Colombia in South America where it's men versus women on the scale that it is the United States. The War of the Roses. Women want the high value man. Men feel like they deserve to be treated with respect. You don't see the war of roses everywhere. Every country is not going through the war of roses. Name the country where they got LGBTQK elemental P teaching your kids. I just looked at a Instagram video of a woman, a sister, with her Black Lives Matter t-shirt on, teaching 5th grade kids how to come out the closet in public school. She said, I literally did an experiment, and I have a closet in here, and I had each child go in the closet, talk about his or her sexual prowess or situation while they were in the closet, and they'd come out and tell me what they were, what they felt like they were. A kid, a child, brain nowhere near. The human brain does not finish developing until the age of 25. All you do is 23, part of your brain is still missing. All you do is 24 is still a part of your brain that you ain't even got yet. All you do is 19, nope, you ain't got your whole brain yet either. The human brain, look it up. Y'all know Andre always say, look it up. The human brain does not finish its full development. You do not get your whole brain until the age of 25 years old. That's why teenagers don't understand half of what we're trying to tell them. And you want to sit up there and have 5th grade kids, put them in the closet with the brain that they have and asking them about their gender preferences. You want to put it in the cartoon. They ain't doing that down here. You I bet you Bernie and Bert would not be that came out the closet if it was up to South America, or if it was up to Africa, or if it was up to Asian countries. I bet you Ernie and Bert wouldn't be sitting up. We would just grew up Ernie and Bert. They were just roommates, dang near brothers. You didn't know if they was cousins. You didn't know if they were brothers. You thought that they were just family. All of a sudden, in the last couple years, yeah, Bernie and Bert, yes, they're coming out the closet as open to the lifestyle. And you raising your kids in that mess. And what they're doing, they're going to program you to where you used to it. So all of a sudden, you're going to walk into your PTA meeting. It's going to be a drag queen and a transgender, a transformer off in there. And it's going to be a school teacher, her and her wife, cuddled up, asking you about your child, why they failing, why they ain't getting good grades. But you done sat up there and you done did a Dwayne Wade with your child. Your little boy, he got eyeliner on looking like Prince in the 3rd grade. I swear, that trauma that you guys got coming, that PTSD that you guys got coming, now that's a form I'll never experience. I'll say that again. That I will never, I see it from afar, but I ain't never got to worry about a child of mine ever having a drag queen in a library teaching my kids how to do mathematics. That'll never happen. Never. Well, stuff is trickling down. No, brother. They got homosexuality all over South America, but not that version that y'all got in the United States. No, partner. They got modern women down here in South America too, but not that version of modern women in the United States. Ain't nobody down here in South America talk about you need 100, you need to make 6 figures with a 6-pack, and it's got to be longer than 6 inches, and you got to be 6 feet. Don't nobody talk like that. They would appreciate a tall dude. But if you're a dude that's got a good job and you got good behavior and you masculine and you well groomed, South American women will scoop you up fast. Will scoop you up fast. I give you another form of trauma. Thinking that we all will become or have to become multimillionaires to be happy. That's only in the States, bruh. If you become a multimillionaire, cool. If you become a billionaire, cool. But in the United States, they dang this shame you for not making 100,000 yet. You should be ashamed of yourself at the age of blah, 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 blah. You should be making it. No, most countries, it don't even take all that. If you make 35,000 a year, you make more money. You in the top 10% of all incomes in the world. 85% of incomes do not keep up with $35,000 a year. If you make $35,000 a year and you making it online, or you got a business that can run by itself and you make it 35K a year after taxes, I'm telling you, ain't no way in hell you need to be in the United States. And I'm not coming against my country, 'tis of thee. I'm saying if you're a person that really wants to live outside the United States, you waiting around to make 300,000, you's a damn fool. You a fool. I would have been a fool. I left the United States, I was making 85,000. I was not 100,000. When I got here with my online job and all my businesses had just started, I was making 35,000. I had 20 to 30,000 in my savings account. You know how long I would have had to wait in the United States to get the right raises and get the promotion to be the supervisors of the supervisors, to get to six figures in the United States. Because you know, United States stingy when it comes to raises. You go get your little 2.3% every year, but that's just about it. You ain't gonna get no major raise until you get a new position. You get hired in management and upper management. You become regional. That's the only way you're gonna make some real money as far as working for somebody else in the United States. But you ain't gonna get it just because you ain't gonna make six figures. Most people that work for somebody ain't gonna never see six figures in their life. I'll say this again. Most Americans, not all, because we know some Americans that got jobs and they making way more than six figures, but most Americans will never in their lifetime imagine. There are Americans that could not fathom the thought of what six figures are. I left America, and guess how much I make? Thank you. But if I would have waited for America to give me six figures while I'm sitting in my cubicle, statistically, that wasn't going to happen. Some of you dudes are waiting for America to give you the monies that you need when you already got the monies. You see where I'm going with that? Some of y'all already at that point. Some of y'all make enough with your side business or your side hustle to be able to be successful in 85% of the world. But because you've been sold the idea that thou must become a multimillionaire before thy leaveth the planet, or before you leave to go to another country. I'm in another country. I still want to get multiple millions. I'm still focusing on that American goal. I love what people are saying right now. The American dream is alive and well. It's just not in America. Yes, all your hopes and dreams can come true like Disney, just not in the country where Disney is. Well, I know a story of a guy. Yeah. Those anomalies, those one-offs, two-offs. Yeah. Wow. My cousin, he started a business. So yeah. Now he's making $500,000. I believe you. Yeah, I believe you. That's possible. But guess what? That 500,000 your cousin made, he could have made that in another country. Why? Because in another country, he would have had time to do it faster. Took your cousin 7 years to get to that 500,000 a year. He could have got it a lot faster in another country. I've been able to accomplish so much more. So much more in another country than I ever imagined accomplishing in the United States. Because the United States, you got to worry about, because of so much inflation, because it's so expensive, you got to worry about, okay, I got my job, my regular bills, got to take care of this. Oh, got child support, got to take care. Oh, and my new girlfriend. Okay, I got all this. So now you got all those expenses, and you ain't got nothing. You ain't, and what you've invested or you save for the future. And you got this little bit of pool of money left. That's just enough to go to a club or get you a new suit or get you some new Jordans or something from your paycheck. You'd have filled the gas tank up, so you good. You'd have went to the grocery store, you'd have paid all your bills off, you good. But this little bit is enough to get some Jordans, but it ain't enough to start the business or fuel the business online that you really want to fuel. Then you move to another country, and it only take a percentage of what you're making to take care of all your expenses. Now you got this big chunk of money to start a business, to buy some real estate. Now you're starting to see brothers and sisters coming down here, and they're buying whole hotels, buying an Airbnb and renting it out when they're not here in Colombia, buying barbershops, nail shops down here, investing in, I want to buy a bar down here. Some brothers down here just opened up a restaurant. Regular, everyday brothers. They didn't wait until they got to 300,000 in the States, and then I'm going to go to Colombia, and then I'll really be able to bring my dream to pass because I got 300. No. They came to a country where their expenses were low, and they had a large chunk of money. And so now, because their expenses are low, they, after months and a couple of years of stacking that money, they pay for a restaurant right out in a great area, Granada. Well, I just suggested whether one brother go out to with his girlfriend. Brothers from the States just bought a restaurant here in Cali, Colombia, in that same area. United States will program to think you that you get you to think that you cannot bring your dreams to pass except for in the United States. The American dream can only happen in America, and I call BS. I'm living proof that that's BS. I'm living proof that that is BS, and I see a lot of brothers and sisters coming down here making that money, doing their thing, and ain't missed a beat. Ain't went back home scratching the back of their head like what happened. Nope. The expenses are so low in other countries. Realize them, even medical. Man, listen. We pay a lot in the States. Let me just put it like that. Let me keep on going down. I didn't get a chance to give everybody a shout out. We got 66 people in the building. Make sure all 66 click that like button. My man EMB is in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Glad that you made it here. Of course, Charles is always here, even if he's on his phone right now. He said, drunk teacher first day of class was funny. Oh man, that was funny. Hey, y'all need to go back to his podcast like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. And he does reviews early. I mean, I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all working during the day, when you first get to work, you get your cup of coffee, you like got your coffee at your desk, or you're hands-on type dude, and you about to put your headphones on. Whatever you about to do your landscaping. I don't care if you're working at a warehouse. I don't care. Man, y'all need to be listening to Do Better Podcast in the morning. I'm telling you, dudes, you gonna laugh. Your first few hours are gonna fly by. By the time you get done listening to this podcast, I promise you this. It's gonna be lunch break, and you're gonna be like, damn. Okay. I see what Dre is saying. You're gonna be sitting up there laughing. Ain't nobody gonna know what you laughing about. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all missing out. Keep on around. Okay. I'm trying to get y'all the hookup for at work. Because I think your podcast, in all sincerity, if I was at work and I'm doing this dang paperwork, you would help me make it through the morning. I kid you not. You make my morning so good. Like, okay, by the time you get done, it's lunch break. This is my routine right here. So if you guys want to go back to his podcast 2 days and see the episode with the drunk teacher. I'm that was funny. That was Karen got caught. Karen got caught at work on the first day of work as a teacher. They didn't call. Hey, you know how many? The funny part was all the cups that they kept bringing in there. They had like three or four cups in there. Like, what's in here? Oh, that's wine. We thought you said that you drunk on your way to work. I did. That was from last night. So why'd you bring the cup into the class? Get your drink. Oh man. He said, don't forget Victory. Shout out to Victory. Victory, my brother. Yeah, I got Victory. The first person that came through the door, kicked in the door. Shout out to Victory. Shout out to my man, Will, who's always down here. Will is like a neighbor. He's always here in Cali. Always. Poor man 313, them Detroit boys had it again. Stop them. That's another reason y'all support Do Better podcast. He's one of them 313 boys. One of the Detroit boys. I'm telling y'all, boys, Detroit boys. Detroit boys got YouTube on lock right about now, man. You got the Angry Man. You got Do Better. You got me. Man, listen. Y'all better leave them Detroit boys alone. Go ahead and watch them Detroit boys do what they do. We love everybody. That's what it is. We get along with everybody. You from New York, we get along with you. LA, get along. Texas boys, we like you too. Iowa, we get along with Iowa and Wyoming boys. We get along with them. Ohio, hey, we may be arch enemies when it comes to football, but we love you. Chicago, we can't stand each other during hockey season, but we still love you too. Florida, Atlanta, man, y'all love y'all some Detroit players. Shoot, we the ones that got the shout out in the Biggie songs. See what I'm saying? Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to my man Charles once again. Let me make sure I got everybody. Make sure I got it. I got past Will. He says, no wrench yet. No worries. Dre, I'll get it. Yeah, let me know when it show. It should be show because I already have you in there. I push save. Okay, I just pushed save. Maybe maybe it didn't show up. I just pushed save, so maybe it should show up now. I just pushed save, so it should show up. That was my fault. My bad. I forgot to push save. I put your name in there. You say talk to him. Yeah, man. He said we're not supposed to be eating red meat, right? That's up to everybody else. I haven't eaten red meat in about 35 years. So if you try to look as good as me at 56, that's what my point is. I knew that I was gonna be 56 one day, and I wanted to look good. I've heard now that I did hear. I heard Argentina and Brazil, their beef, their steaks, their beef. I heard that it's a level of beef that you have never eaten in your life. I heard that their meat. That one thing I can say, I've heard some really not just through you, Charles, through other individuals that say when they've gone to Argentina or when they go to certain places in Brazil, their beef there is no competition. Peru, same thing. Yeah, so I hear that. But since I don't eat it, I wouldn't know. Yeah, it's like going out of style. They don't he say, and they don't have half the health issues that we do in the US. I was just watching some brothers, that's true, just off the beaten path. Charles, I was just watching a brother and a sister that moved to Africa about a good 3 months ago, right? I think it was Tanzania they moved to. And they were saying that here in Africa, there's a lot of rice. All the countries they've gone to, they said there's a lot of rice. Say, but here's the kicker. We've been eating rice and we've been losing weight. The rice, whatever it is they serving us in the States, it ain't the same rice that they serve in other countries. Said because there's no way in the world we're going to be eating this level of rice in the States and not put on weight. It's the same way here in Colombia. You be looking at all these fine Colombian women, and they be eating rice all day long. You be like, how the hell is she that fine with rice? So yeah, shout out to Charles Will in the building. He said, I brought some oh, you brought some bourbon? Oh yeah, I'll be to see you, bro. Yeah, I'll be to see you. Yeah, I don't even know. I see some let's see, Sursop, always as big as a watermelon. No chemicals in the food in Cali. Absolutely correct. GMOs are illegal here in South America, in most of South America. Mexican coat is goaded for a reason. Yeah, dude, that Coca-Cola in Mexico, that thing is addictive. I've been hearing, boy, dude, I hear that in Mexico, they even put Coca-Cola in a baby bottle. They start them young. He said, y'all even wonder why the line is wrapped around the Chick-fil-A for all day, every day? Yep. Well, it's because there are 55 ingredient sodium, aluminum phosphate chemicals that are banned from, or probably banned in other countries. Oh, yeah, food in other countries. Yeah, banned for food in other countries. Yeah. Yeah, the funny part is we don't be saying these things about America to put America down. We, like I said, 72% of Americans statistically, y'all ain't going no damn way anyway. Y'all watch us for entertainment. Y'all ain't going nowhere. 50% of all passports that you brag about, y'all only use statistically for Mexico and Canada. You ain't going nowhere. Another chunk of y'all use y'all passports only for when y'all going on cruises. You ain't going nowhere. So I ain't talking to you dudes. I ain't talking to you 72%ers. I'm talking to the guys that might be on the, or the ladies that might be on the edge and considering maybe I could do this. But if you do it, do realize that there are going to be some mental things that you're going to notice that you didn't notice in the States. And that's what this live stream is about. We're going to get to the video in a second. Shout out to my man John in the building. Shout out to you, brother. My man C's. Shout out to you, brother. Real talk. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to keep it real. I'm trying to keep it real. Yeah, got to keep it unapologetic. Absolutely correct. He said, yeah, I'm a Sigma. Yeah, there's some Sigma dudes out there. Dude, Sigma is like, you know, I'm laid back. I don't put myself in no problematic situation. Hey, if she give me the dussy, cool. If she don't give me the good dussy, cool. That's Sigma brothers. Sigma brothers don't be tripping on stuff. Sigma males, man, they be like, man, you know, alphas got a point to prove all of it, especially short dudes. Short alphas always got a point to prove. That's why they always the ones in the gym. Most of the dudes that you see that are bodybuilders, most of them are way under 6 feet. They got something to prove. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We need the alphas in the world. Shout out to the alphas. Betas, need we say more. But the Sigma brothers, man, they ain't going with that shit, man. Sigma brothers like, man, pass me my beer. I ain't trying to hear what this dude talking about. I'm going with that bullshit. He said, some tell me that I'm too hard. I respond, you might just be too soft. This is true. This is true, my friend. I think I know you guys got a lot of messages, but I want to get down to the did I make sure I got everybody in the super chat? Oh, Black Nubian is in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Them Canadian boys at it again, man. We got 70 people in the building. Click that like button. I like you. Make sure you like us too. Jay with the Colombian 10,000 pesos. As a married expat living in Colombia, as he says, I like that. I co-sign almost all of these things that Andre tell you. Please listen. But I love Medellin and Cali equally, though. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all, brother. I love the fact that you can get to all these cities in Colombia under a 30-minute flight. You can fly from Cali to Bogota in under 30 minutes. Bogota to Medellin, under 30 minutes. Medellin to Cartagena, 30 minutes. Cartagena to Cali or Cartagena to Santa Marta, 30 minutes. The longest flight that you're going to have is to San Andreas Island. That's going to be like maybe an hour, 15 minutes to island in the middle of the ocean. Wonderful island. That's the one thing I really love about Colombia. And the flights are so inexpensive. Sometimes you get a flight $50 round trip, $70 round trip, $80 round trip. When last time you had an $80 round trip in your own state? You know what I'm saying? You can't find an $80 round trip from Tampa to Miami unless you fly in Spirit, which, yeah. Cortell's in the building. Just don't make no damn sense. He said, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Shout out to you, brother. Let me scroll down a little bit. Oh, my man Bobby is in the building. Shout out to you, Bobby. Checking in. Matt Dallas here? I feel honored. Matt Dallas is in the building. And Black Scorpion. I'm doing something right tonight. I'm doing something right tonight. He said, Black United States is a social construct. Absolutely. And we try to force it on our foreign brothers and sisters. We really do. If they say that they Tanzanian or Guyanan, we like, no, you black first. They like, no, hold up, player. I know I'm black, but my ethnicity and my nationality is we can't relate to that as black people. We so used to hearing our race thrown at us. Think about it. We are so programmed to hear our race thrown in our face that we forget to even celebrate that we're Americans and we helped build the country. Yeah, during a debate, we'll talk about it. Well, when we get fired up, we'll talk about we helped build this damn country. But on a regular basis, Americans ain't like the redneck. Black Americans are not like them redneck white boys with the American flag on the back of a pickup truck, and they got a barbecue grill out there, and they got a cowboy hat that says, I love America. Man, that ain't us. No. And many of us do love America. Yes, we do. But we proud. We don't say we proud to be Americans. We say we proud to be black before we say we proud to be Americans, because we've been programmed to think like that. To whereas our Dominican and Haitian brothers and African brothers, they have no Brazilian, Colombians, they have no problem with celebrating their nationality while they're in their own country. There is no black national anthem in Colombia. It's just a Colombian national anthem. There is no black national anthem in Brazil. It's just the national anthem. You can go to Ethiopia, it's the national anthem. You can go to DR, the national anthem. Only in the United States do we have lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven rings with the harmony of liberty. Only us in the United States as black people need our own national anthem. Only us. Everybody else celebrate their home countries. Not us. Not us. We got our own. Stop me when I'm lying. And we'll get mad at another country if they do not embrace. He said there's a reason why Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Panamanians do that. They think Spanish caste system. Either way, I'm not saying that that's not true, Charles. What I'm saying is what they embrace first. They embrace whether it be the caste system. I mean, we all, when I hear, I'm gonna tell y'all something for real. When I hear brothers always go off the deep end of the history of whatever it may be, when it come to it ain't like the rest of us don't already know that. We already know that here in South America, the reason why they sent over so many Spaniards, so many people from Europe, is because they're still trying to whitewash the race. In other words, if you get enough people of Andrea's complexion to have sex with people of my complexion, they can have enough light-skinned babies to whitewash the race. That's impossible, but stupid white people still think that. Stupid people of Spanish descent here in Colombia still think that. In Brazil, still think that. They really think that you can actually whitewash a whole race away. There are people that are darker than I am that had a white light-skinned ancestor as a grandmother, and now the descendant, the DNA skipped all the way down, and she is chocolatey as I am. You cannot wash away a race, but South America actually think they can. Argentina trying to do it. Brazil's trying to do it. Colombia's trying to do it. They think if they could send down enough people of light complexion, everybody be light skinned. And all you got now is dark skinned people with good hair. Come on now. In Brazil, dark skinned people with good hair. DR, dark skinned people with good hair. Colombia, dark skinned people with good hair. That's all you end up getting. So that plan is backfiring like a mother, if you ask me, because you still got people, you got 14.5 million people in Brazil that look just like me. That little whitewashing didn't work. You sent all those Europeans, all those Asians, all those Middle Easterners over to Brazil to try to whitewash it, and that ain't work at all. At all. So I feel where you're coming from, Charles. But what I'm saying is they don't look at their race first like we have been programmed to think. We don't even celebrate being Americans. There is no Black American Day. We have no day in which we celebrate being American for what we built in America and how we established a lot of America. We have no Black American days. No day. We'll celebrate Africa that we ain't never been to like a mother. Half of us don't even know what country or culture. Some of us are starting to learn because of DNA testing, but most of us, we just celebrating Africa, don't know about Africa, except for what some other brother or sister done told us. There is no Black American celebrating day where we celebrate what we've done as a people in America and how we've overcome in America. Not one celebration, not one. I've never seen a day or a parade of Black people walking down the street with red, white, and blue on, celebrating all the accomplishments of people of color in the United States. I ain't never seen that parade. I ain't never seen that barbecue, that church celebration, that church picnic. I've never seen the imam do it, the nation do it. Nobody has done it because we look at race first, not our nationality and not our ethnicity first, even though we come from a colonized country, just like all those other countries, Puerto Rico, DR, and Panama. Stop me when I'm lying. Shout out to my man in the building. He said, I feel what you're saying. However, the United States is our nation. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There is no however to that. The United States is our nation. Yes, it is. I am 100,000% American. I have never felt more American than outside the United States. And there are plenty of dudes in these comments can tell you right now they feel the exact same way I do. I'm going to tell you now, I felt Black in the United States. Yes, I did. My people. I love my people. I have never felt American in the United States. I'm born American, raised American, title of American, but the feeling of being an American, no. And most of us, if we're honest with ourselves, most people of color, no. You don't feel American. We can't be like Puerto Rican dudes, go to the States and go Puerto Rico as part of the States and have our flag waving everywhere. We don't have that. We can't be like the DR dude or some of our African brothers. You'll see them with their, or our Jamaican brothers. They got their own flag on the t-shirts. They got their own flags on their hats. They represent. We don't do that. We represent our blackness, our race. And then all of a sudden you get a passport and you fly somewhere. And it's the first thing that comes out of somebody's mouth, something that you ain't never heard in your life. Hello, American. You looking around like, who the hell they talking to? Because they cannot be talking to me. I'm a black man. Welcome, American. But I'm a black man. What would you like to eat, American? I told y'all I'm a black man. You ain't gonna change my mind. You Americans, you're so funny. What'd you like to drink, American? Everywhere you go, I ain't had nobody remind me of my race down here. They automatically know when they see me, they know I'm black. Negro. They know sisters negra, negritas, negritos. It is not an insult. It's depending on 90% of the people that say it is a term of endearment. You can't call nobody no Negro in the States. And it's cool. But if you ever want to feel like an American, you think you feel like an American. I'm gonna put it like this even more. You think you feel all American. Got your flag hanging outside your house. You got your front lawn mowed looking so good. You living in the suburbs. You got a nice little job. You're making good money. Taking care of your kids. Us four no more. 2 kids, 2 dogs, you and your girl. Y'all living it, bro. You feeling all American. You got savings put to the side, life insurance, investments. You got your partners you go out and drink with and hang with and play, go fishing with. You all bruh. All that is American, but you still don't feel American. You feel black. But I'm gonna tell you, once you start taking your out the United States, watch how much more you feel American than you feel black. I'm not saying you forget that you black. You're gonna always remember that because you were programmed to remember that. In other words, you were programmed to remember your race first. You were programmed to remember your race first. When the rest of the world is talking to you by way of your nationality and your ethnicity first. And we're not used to that. We're not used to somebody talking about us as Americans, even if they're giving us an insult, those damn Americans. And they could be looking right at us. They ain't talking about the white boy Americans. They ain't talking about the Latin Americans. They talking about all of us, including you. Those damn Americans. I'm telling y'all, fellas who travel, am I lying? Am I lying? Put a 1 in the, I'm about to do a poll. Put a 1 in the comment section if you have felt more American outside of America. I'm about to put a bunch of them motherfucking ones. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I ain't gonna pretend. I ain't gonna even lie. Put a 1 in the comment section in your travels that you've experienced. Have you felt more red, white, and blue, and people treat you not because of this, but because of this? You got an American passport, you got an American accent, you were born and raised red, white, and blue, and they realize people in other countries acknowledge that you're American more than your own dang country does sometimes. Your own countrymen will remind you of your race, and other countries will remind you of your ethnicity and your nationality. And this is the funny part. Keep putting ones in the comment section if you didn't even expect it. I was expecting people to treat me like a black man. Why? Because that's how everybody treat me in the United States, like a black man. Wasn't nothing wrong with that. I'll say it again. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's how they treated me. Then I took my ass to other countries and they start talking to me as an American. He's American. Girl, there go those fine Americans. Who are you dating? I'm dating an American. They don't say I'm dating a black American. They just say an American. Who's your man, girl? That American over there? He's sitting over there with all the Americans. You see those American guys? Go over there. He's sitting over there with, he's sitting right there. Just look for the American. They're loud. Look for the loud Americans. Nobody says over there where all the black guys are. I have yet to hear somebody say, you see all those black guys over there? Yeah, she's sitting over there with them. Her and her friends are sitting over there with, no, they're sitting over there with those Americans. You ain't never heard that in the United States. You will be in the VIP of all VIPs in New York, LA, and Miami. And they will never point to you and say, there's a group of Americans sitting in the VIP right over there. They ain't never did that to you, ever. You ain't never, as much money as you spend in VIPs in the United States, you can VIP in Vegas, you can VIP in Chicago, you can VIP in Atlanta, you can go to the Essence Festival in New Orleans, and you could be in the best of the best of the best. And ain't nobody gonna say there are those Americans right there. It's gonna be the black dudes that's sitting over there. That's what you see, the black dudes. But no, look right there. You see it? Yeah, where all the black guys are sitting. Yeah, she over there right there. We are so programmed as black, white, and everybody else to talk about our race first. I didn't say our race only. I said our race first. Our skin color first. The results of how we've been treated because of our skin color first. I see all these ones that you guys putting in. You absolutely correct. You absolutely correct. Charles says, be careful with that. There are some that still hate Americans. There are a lot that hate Americans. I'm not talking to them. This live stream is not for them. Anybody that don't like Americans, I got you. I feel you. You ain't us. There are some out there that don't like Americans. In every country we go to, and just about every city, there's going to be somebody that don't like us being Americans. Got it. That's a part of traveling. But we don't deal with people that don't like us. I'm going to tell you something. It's rare that I come across people that don't like me. It's rare that I come across people in Colombia that says, I don't like Americans. Because I don't run in them circles and I don't give off that energy. I have yet to be I only hang in circles with people that are trying to accomplish something, even though they may not be rich. They're trying to accomplish something in Colombia. They're trying to accomplish something in Brazil, in Panama, in Ecuador. I only hang with people that's trying to accomplish stuff. I've never heard a person, not one time, say something against an American because they're trying to accomplish things. In other words, people that think broke don't feel hurt about us being Americans coming to their country. Only broke people, every once in a while, you'll find a broke person that's got something to say. Usually it's a dude that got something. I kind of all the Americans here taking our women. It's some broke dude that wouldn't get that female that you took anyway. If we had never got off the plane, she wouldn't go sleep with his broke ass anyway. If we had got off the plane in China, all of us had went to China, and there were no expats coming to Colombia. The dudes that be bitching in Colombia, them females wouldn't go sleep with them dudes anyway. Them dudes was gonna never get that badussy anyway. So it's rare because I don't hang in circles or environments with ultra broke people with broken spirits and broken hearts. I don't hang in that environment. So I've never come across a hater like that, like the past Sunday when the one dude was hating, but he's from Chicago. He was a Colombian dude that was born and raised here, but his family moved to Chicago, so he knew fluent English. He want to come down here and start some shit, but he just an American shit starter, and we are professional shit starters in the United States. If we can't do nothing else, we make money, we got great military, and we start shit. We will start some shit in a New York minute. Males and females, pets, dogs, cats, squirrels. Americans, we are infamous for starting some shit. And so he did what he was programmed to do in Chicago. Hey, I see some people minding their business. Let me go start some shit. That's the closest I've been in 6 years being down in these countries. I ain't never came across no hater. In Medellin, I ain't never come across no Colombian hater. In the big cities, in the small town, nobody. They'll look at me like, man, that's a big brother. Or they'll look at me like, okay, he's American. Oh, there's American. The kids, brother, if you want to just feel like you Mr. It, go to a small town in some of these countries and watch all the kids just run up to you, just so happy to see an American. Ain't nobody said nothing about the big black man. All they want to do is practice their little English that they learned in school. They just want to sit back and hear you talk. And then if one of their friends know English real good, they'll listen to their friends. That's normally the people that come my way. Little kids coming to practice the little English that they learned in school with the American. Not the black dude. Nope. Not one of them kids look at the big black man. Every one of them. Everyone and their mamas and their dads. That's the American. And I ain't never got that type of American love in my own country. That's what my point is. That's what my point is. I'm 1,000%. I'm not trying to come down here and pretend I'm Colombian. I got my citizenship coming up. I'm not even with dual citizenship. I'm American first. It's great to have 2 passports, but I'm American 100% through and through, red, white, and blue. But at the end of the day, people remind me more that I'm American outside of America than in America. Bet that. And I love it. I love finally, I'm treated like an American. Now I understand all the sacrifices that so many generations have made for me to be an American. Because I didn't feel that in the United States. I felt accomplishments, economic accomplishments like buying a house, buying a car, vacations, having money saved. Economic accomplishments, yes. But the feeling of American, like the white boys with the pickup trucks be feeling, I ain't never felt like the white boys with the pickup trucks with the American flag waving in the back. I ain't never felt that before. And most brothers and sisters can't lie and say that they have. No matter how many 4th of July barbecues I've been to, no matter how many 4th of July and Easter parades and Macy Day parades, all that, no matter how many times I watched the ball drop in Times Square, no matter how many times states I've traveled to, I have never one time in the history of Andre felt so American when I was in America. Never, not one time. Felt like a black man every day. Every day. Y'all gonna remind me that I'm black. Police gonna do it. Attorneys gonna do it. My boss gonna do it. My girlfriend gonna do it. My family gonna do it. Total strangers gonna remind me I'm black. The news gonna remind me I'm black. Pets and dogs and squirrels and cats gonna remind me I'm black. Everybody gonna remind you one thing of your race in the United States. They'll talk about the white dude, his race, all the time. Look at that white boy over there. Look at that redneck. Look at that crack over there. All the time. We all gonna remind each other race. Now, one time, have you looked at a white boy and said, look at that American right there. He's all American like I am. You ain't looked at none of the Mexican brothers in LA that was born and raised in LA. Now, one time have you looked at them like all American. Look at those. No, you look at them like Latin dudes. We always remind each other of race in America. And most countries are not wired like that. Let's get started with the video. Will say, I'm happiest man on the planet when I'm in Cali. He said, I'm the American. You know how we got the college football team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's how you feel. I'm the American. And you can be, this is what I love about it, Will. You can be in a room full of your own brothers and sisters in South America or in Africa or in Europe, around your own brothers and sisters, but you are the American. It could be 200 black people. Don't matter. You are the American. Cut above. The next tier of. And they treat you like that. And I love it. He said, on an application. Shout out to my man GC. I love it. Let me get started with the video, guys. Shout out to you guys for being here. Shout out to you for the super chats, cash apps. Top Gun. Hey, Top Gun's in the building. Shout out to you, Top Gun. Welcome home, brother. Welcome home. Hey, we need it. I got an appointment tomorrow. I got 2 appointments tomorrow. But after that, I'm free, brother. I'm free. We need to. I think we need to do dinner. I'll be free for dinner. I'll be free for dinner. Yeah, my man back. You see that Cali logo? I see you, brother. I see you. Shout out to you. Welcome home, man. Let's get started with the video. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Oh, my man, Growth in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Make sure you guys subscribe to my man Growth channel, man. Good live streams, man. Good eating, man. Good videos. I'm telling you some good videos. Hey, when you think I ain't watching, I'm watching, man. Believe you me. Peace chat. Yes, sir. Oh, man. We got the family in the building. We got everybody here tonight. Let's get started with the video real quick. This video is about Americans that go through the American version of PTSD, of unlearning some things that we thought we knew. Let's get started.
You know, it's very difficult for Americans who've never left the country or lived outside the country to understand just how insane this country is. I mean, we kind of know, and we on this network remind everyone that it doesn't have to be this way, that people don't live like this. But now Americans living abroad, American expats in different countries are taking to TikTok to air all of the ways that where they live is incredibly different, and all the ways that the almost PTSD or sort of remnants of what it was like to live in the United States, they're carrying that with them into their new homelands. So let's first start with the video that started this trend back in 2021. Take a look.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up? I'll go first. I live in Warsaw, Poland now, but I always stay in touch with what's happening in the US. And I happened to hear about that Las Vegas shooting when someone opened fire on a bunch of concert goers. And it was very tragic news. But that day, I also went to the movies. So I was already in a kind of weird mental state. And when I left the movies, I got on the tram again in Warsaw, and I saw this guy kind of being sketchy and acting weird in the last seat. And I kept eyeing him the whole time, and he had his jacket open and he was holding something inside. He was hiding it. And I thought, my first American thought was it's a gun or a knife or some kind of weapon, and I need to move away as soon as possible. So I kept looking at him the whole ride, and then he takes it out, and it was a beer can. He was sipping it and hiding it during the tram ride. That's what happens in Poland, not guns, not knives. And I started crying and laughing at the same time, because that's when I realized, wow, that's messed up.
That's messed up. She immediately feared for her life. Just guy sipping on a beer. I didn't think that's necessarily what he was going to reveal out of his jacket. Have you been on public transportation in the United States? Sometimes it's something worse, a lot worse than beer. To an American living in Australia in terms of their fear of gun violence, take a look.
One of my first couple of weeks here, it was May of 2023, and I don't know why exactly, but some local event thing was shooting off fireworks. You know, in the distance I hear, if you're an American, You sit up straight, you start looking around, and you wait to hear more. Do you hear more fireworks, or do you hear screams? Because that sound is either gunfire or fireworks. And I realized that conditioning in me, it still happens.
So there he is, an expat in Australia, getting pretty emotional about the fact that he was, thinking that this could be gunshots. I mean, I'm also thinking of John veterans, American vets who've been to war, who are also, sort of traumatized, of course, by that, and have PTSD. And so when they hear fireworks, are also thinking, what is this? Are these bombs? Are these guns? Is it gunshots, and et cetera? So it's not just gun violence, though, but thoughts on that.
Yeah, look, it's easy to forget. We report on a lot of these mass shootings at schools, at malls, and all that stuff, at bars, in Vegas, at concerts, churches, everywhere. And eventually the media moves on, but it leaves an entire community, the direct people who are affected by it, those who are worried that they're going to get a call that a loved one is in danger, and those things are scattered across the country, an ever-growing list of those sorts of experiences. And I love that the guy made the video, and it's so raw.
We're going to pause it right there for a second. We got more video to look at, but we're just going to pause it right there for a second and just talk about these two scenarios of expat, PS, TD, or say that correctly, or PTSD. Shout out to my man Richie Mack in the building. Glad that you're here, Rich. Rich can confirm a lot of the stuff that I talk about right now, because we talk about a lot of these things also. The first young lady said she had just watched, she's in another country. She had just watched a news headline of a mass deletion on a subway in the States. She's in a completely different country. She's on the bus, minding her business, see a guy hiding something in his jacket. She's like, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I knew it. Come to find out, my man was like, pull out his beer, chug a lug, and put it back in there. We're programmed to expect violent behavior, even if we're in a country that statistically doesn't even have that type of mass deletion behavior. We still subconsciously expect it. I've been here in Colombia for the longest, and I noticed this. If a person gonna get popped, it usually happens one person at a time. It's usually some street kids got into it with some other street kids, and somebody got deleted. Some female was cheating on her husband, who's one of the big ballers in town, and he took care of business. Female was cheating with somebody's woman and found out, and somebody got done. Here in Colombia, it's never like there are 9 incidents in one city in one day, like the States. But we're so programmed to think that it will happen. It's people that's been riding the subways in Medellin for years, ain't never even had a fight break out. Ain't never heard of nothing on the Medellin subways are nice. You ain't heard nothing about Medellin sub. There are countries with, even in Dominican Republic, in Santo Domingo, in the subway system. Dominican Republic is one of the few Caribbean islands that actually have a full-scale subway system. That's why they have me laughing when you dudes be talking about Sasua all the time. I'm like, y'all dudes ain't even been to the capital city of Dominican Republic. Y'all ain't even been to Santo Domingo. You ain't even rode the subways. The one thing that's rare in all the Caribbean, you never even rode a clean, new, respectful, police everywhere subway system. All you do is Sasua. That's why when you dudes be talking about I've been to DR, you ain't been no damn where near DR. You've been to 1 or 2 cities in DR, but you ain't been to DR. I've been to more cities in DR than most of you dudes. That's a dang shame. I'm gonna say it again. In the month that I spent in DR with Andrea, we've been to more cities and more locations than most of you dudes combined. And that's a dang shame. And never step foot in Sasua. Can't tell you what Sasua looked like. Can't tell you about no Sasua Beach. None of that trash. None of it. I didn't even imagine going. If I was by myself, I wouldn't have went to Sasua. That's the last place I would have went to in DR. The island is so beautiful, got so much history, got so many great people, so much great food. The last place that I even imagined stepping my feet in was Sasua. There is no way in hell I'm going to stay in that raggedy looking motherfucker. As bougie as I am, y'all know I'm too bougie for Sasua. All you Sasua dudes that's been there, y'all know I ain't got no business being there. They got some nice villas in areas of Sasua. I wouldn't know. I would not know. The behavior pattern, I'm better than that. They may have some nice villas, but they ain't got the type of behavior patterns that I'm accustomed to. Sorry. You never see me. There will never be a day in the history of Andre that you said, I saw Andre walking down the street of Sasua. You're lying to your glasses, okay? You're lying to yourself. That'll never, when I say never, that will never happen. And for me to spend a whole month plus in DR and never go there, hell no, y'all crazy. Shout out to my man Chi-Town in the building. There's a lot of brothers up in here. Shout out to y'all guys. Shout out to y'all guys. Jamal's up in here. First Class Kings in the building. Shout out to all y'all brothers. I'm a man in the building. The bus drivers in the building as well. Shout out to you / truck driver now. Yeah, man. You can go into these subways and ain't got to worry about mass deletion, but we're so programmed with expat PTSD, we actually believe that what happens in the United States that we're accustomed to is happening around the world in their subways or on their buses. The second story, I went through the same thing that dude went through. The dude with the fireworks. Shout out to my Uncle Jeffrey being in here. I hear nephew, I go through about PTSD until now. America has us mentally fucked. Yes, absolutely correct. It took, that's why I always put a time window on it. Brothers, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and also said, never told y'all this story. It took me 3 years to realize that here in Colombia, Dre, those are fireworks. Even though all the Colombians, and I had already known that Colombians fire fireworks year round. It doesn't matter if it's 4 o'clock. Dude, I could hear fireworks right now if somebody wants to fire them off. Colombians keep fireworks. They fireworks at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night. They will fire off fireworks on a Sunday afternoon. Colombians are always firing off fireworks. Always. And it took me 3 years to realize, even though I knew it, if I hear it at night, play out. What am I thinking? East side Detroit, South side Chicago, Tampa, Miami. I'm thinking I'm hearing deletion shots. I think I'm hearing gunshots, right? kaya, kaya. And there's nothing but the firework going off. Playa, playa, playa into the air. It's just fireworks. But I was just like the white dude. I was so programmed. And I'm telling y'all the truth. I really, even though I literally, as a grown man, knew what it was. But my brain was so programmed in the States that if you hear this, it's got to be gunshots. It can't be anything else. It's not the 4th of July, so nobody would fire off fireworks, even though I already knew that Colombians fire off fireworks just to be firing them off. It could be somebody's grandmama's birthday, blah, 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 on the other side of the city. It could be somebody just celebrating, having fun, blah, blah, blah. It could be some kids, but no, in my American PTSD mind, that's got to be gunfire. And it took me 3 years to get over that. To where now I could just roll over and go to sleep, be like, blah, 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 blah. And I know it's just somebody letting off fireworks. Even if you own one legally, even if you own arsenal legally in Colombia, you're not going to waste the artillery because you only allowed a certain amount of ammunition per year, and they don't waste ammunition. That's why I said Colombia, if they gonna let off them rounds, it's gonna be one person at a time. You ain't gonna see nobody just ride down the street. That's the States. They don't waste no ammunition down here. No. Because you got a limited amount that you get every year. That's it. Once you go past your limit, if you get caught with one shell past your limit, a shell, they locking your butt up. A shell past your limit. You took the classes, you done passed the background check, you got your artillery, you got your ammunition, and you done ran through that ammunition. And if they catch you with one shell past that ammunition that you're supposed to have for the year, that one box or whatever you got, they lock your ass up. That's how Colombia is. Shout out to my man Mike in the building with the 1999. What up, Dre? He said, it ain't stopping me now. A day, a wake up, and a flight. Boy, this sound like me getting out of jail. How long you got left, Dre? I got a day and a wake up. All you do is just been in jail before, you know what I'm talking about. I got 5 days in a wake up. Oh, man, I only got a year in a wake up left. Oh, man, in a wake up. Come on now, in a wake up. All you Fed boys in a wake up. All you stateside boys is still doing a bit in a wake up. And the flight is all that stands between me and Cali. 2 O's. I'm with you. See y'all when I'm there. Come on down, man. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time. I ain't mad at you. And I'll be here too. We'll be here for a couple more weeks before we head out of the country. My man with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He said, preach. He said, preach, brother. My wife lives in Santiago. Oh, yeah. I like Santiago. And how do I get in touch with you for investment projects? Just shoot me an email. Stefano, do me a favor. If you get a chance, Stefano or Charles, just drop the email. Just shoot me an email, definitely. Will says, I just went through that fireworks PTSD yesterday here in Cali. Yesterday was Tuesday? Tuesday night. No particular, ain't nothing going on. No soccer game and nothing. Just all of a sudden you just hear kakaya, 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 kakaya. And you swear like they firing up. They duck, had your kids, had your wife. And it's just fireworks. It's just regular fireworks. But we are so programmed, so traumatized that's all we know. We're about to go to the next video. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, it took me 3 years to get over that. I'm telling you, I'm for real, Black Nubian. 3 years, bro. Let's go to the next part of the video.
It goes though beyond just gun violence. This is a great account from someone who's living in the UK and talking about ambulances and her hesitancy to call an ambulance. Take a look.
So I moved to the UK about 10 years ago for university, and literally my very first night there, I was fresh off the plane. It was Freshers Night, which is like the whole first week of university in the UK. You like go out drinking at like different bars or whatever. And we went out drinking, and this one girl that I was with got so drunk that on the way back home to our student accommodation, she was like, oh, I need to sit down. And she sat down and she just like passed out, and we could not wake her up. Like the girl was just like dead to the world, it seemed like. And immediately the people I was with was like, we need to call an ambulance. And being an American, I was like, we cannot call an ambulance. Like I had just met this girl. I had no idea if she could afford an ambulance. They called an ambulance. The ambulance came. They like checked her out like she was, alive or whatever. And they took her to the hospital. And like they brought me home. They sat me down and they were like, what are you freaking out about? And I explained what I was so worried about. And they were like, ambulances are free. Hospitals are free. What is wrong with you? And like, I hadn't realized until that point that healthcare in the UK was completely free.
That's just devastating to me. I mean, I can't say that I have worried about calling 911 or an ambulance on somebody. I mean, I think I have that I would say I'd have that privilege where I would call an ambulance. I would call like the fire department or whomever.
We're going to stop right there in regards to that part of the video. Shout out to my man, I Am Waf in the building. He said, any websites that you recommend for meeting Colombian chicas? I would say, me personally, I would the only one that I recommend is Colombian Cupid, because Colombian Cupid, they got to post not only photos, usually they show photos of their lives. I won't say the only one. I got 3 of their lives. But in Colombian Cupid, you get the advanced. You guys always hear me say this. If you use Colombian Cupid, use the advanced settings. Use the advanced settings. It might be 3 dots at the top right-hand side. Click on that, or it may automatically go when it says search advanced settings. You literally could choose height, hair color, eye color. Is she fluent in English? Is she just starting English? What her career is? If she has kids or no kids? If she has kids, do they still live with her? Does she live on her all, literally from her religion to her, is she a Scorpio or a Cancer? All of that is in the advanced settings. So instead of you going through 2,000 women, it narrows it down to maybe 15, 20 women. And now you can make your choice of 15 through 15, 20. You only need a couple anyway. I don't see why y'all keep on trying to be excited about going through 2,000 women. Ooh, she pretty. Ooh, she pretty. Ooh, she pretty too. Ooh, she pretty too. Ooh, she pretty. No, you ain't got no time for that. Because most of those do not fit into what you're looking for. I need those 20 that fit into what the hell I'm looking for. I don't give a damn about the 3,000. That's like me walking around Cali, Colombia, trying to get the phone number of every Colombian woman that looks good down here. That's stupid. When I know all I need is the ones that fit my characteristics, what I'm looking for in somebody to be cool with. It doesn't have to even be a partner. Just when you come down to Cali, somebody that you want to be cool with, and you just can narrow it down. The other one I would say is, other two I would say, Facebook and Instagram. Why Facebook and Instagram? I'm not talking about the Colombian women with their butt all stuck up. I'm talking about some good, decent Colombian women, and you see them on Facebook and you see them on Instagram. Hit them up in their DMs. Why? Because usually on Facebook or Instagram, they're going to show you family photos. They ain't going to show you them photos on Tinder, are they? Nope. They're going to show you big booties and pretty faces on Tinder, and that's how y'all get caught up. All those other webs, Bumble, they gonna show you no family stuff. No. But when you go to Facebook and Instagram, all of a sudden you start to see some family photos. You see if you get a chance to got kids, especially Facebook. if they got kids. You see them birthday celebrations. You get a chance to see if they got a man or not. All that is on Tinder. I mean, all that is on Instagram and Facebook. Because if she got a man, you better believe he gonna make sure that he got at least one picture on Facebook or on Tinder. I mean, on Facebook or Instagram. Leave Tinder alone. I'm gonna say this again. For all you Tinder dudes, and you get caught up, I don't feel sad for you. I laugh at you. I don't laugh with you. I laugh at you. I got my popcorn in my hand and a cold beer, and I'm laughing at all you Tinder dudes. Watch this. Watch this dude get drugged. It's so funny. I kid you not. Yeah, those are websites that I would recommend. And also said, he said, websites are a waste of time. Just go to the mall. Oh, that's even better. He ain't lying. Just go to a mall. That's how I met Andre in the mall. I went to the mall, bro. I met my wife in the mall. Yes, I did. He absolutely correct on that one. Shout out to the malls, all your mall players. He said, meet in person. That will become, he said, met in person, a person that will become my wife 5 years ago on Columbia Cupid. There you go. Yeah, met the person. He said, met the person. I said, meet in person, but met the person. Yep. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the only one that's like a dating site that I could recommend. I won't even lie. I don't recommend none of the other ones because either I don't know about them in detail or like Tinder, I've heard so many bad stories that you just leave them alone. So some of them I can't recommend because I don't know anything about them. He said, thanks. I've tried Columbia Cupid. That website seemed kind of shady. Actually, it's only shady because you don't use the advanced settings. The advanced settings. See, you just going straight into search and you just scrolling. You just, she's sexy too. Oh, she's so sexy too. Oh, I like her. She's sexy. No. Go, even if you have to pay for the advanced settings, it's only $25 a month. Stop being cheap. Pay that $25 because if you go into the advanced settings, now you narrowed it down to like 20 women. They all, let's say your Spanish is trash. In that 20, when you put in, is she fluent in English? Check. You hit that check mark. Or is she 50% in English? Check. You want a woman that got a job? Check. Because you don't want a woman that's all up under you all day long and she got to have some goals going after herself. Check. You 5'10", but you like tall women. So you need somebody that's at least 5'8". Check. You can do all that in the advanced settings. You can't do all that when you're trying to waste hours searching, talking about looking at your eye candy. The Bible says the eyes of a man is never full. I'll say it again. The Bible says the eyes of a man is never full. You will never get tired of looking at beautiful women if you got the eyes like that most of us men got. So you ain't gonna never find a white one on Columbia Cupid because you're gonna always, but this sexy one, oh, I gotta reach out, I gotta hit this one. But then no, bro. And all the ones that y'all been trying to hit up ain't got nothing to do with what you really have been looking for in a woman from the get-go. Those 20 are the ones that you need to be hollering at. But y'all too busy wasting hours upon hours upon hours scrolling, looking at Miss Sexy. Oh, she said, I'm gonna get her my number. And then when they say something crafty or something either way, or like Poppy send me money-ish type of stuff, you looking at Columbia Cupid just as bad as the rest of them. No, it ain't. You didn't use the advanced settings. You didn't narrow down your search and get women that gotta do something to do with you. I've done the advanced settings on this live stream, on this channel, at least 5 times. I've literally gone into my old Columbia Cupid account, went into the advanced settings, narrowed it down to women in Cali, Colombia that were professionals, because y'all know I like beautiful nerd chicks, professionals that had their own place, that had the right look that I was looking for. Narrowed it on down. But you're going to keep doing what you're going to do. You're going to keep going to these websites and you're going to be swiping and scrolling and swiping. And I'm trying to give you the game. Use the advanced settings. Stop just searching through, because them search through girls, they shady. You're right. I give you that 100%. They are shady. He says, so you absolutely nailed it on the head. That's exactly what I was doing. Just liking every post. Yeah, I did it. How you think I know you was doing it? I did it. Man, when I first got on Columbia Cupid, way before I met Andrea, man, I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure she get my number. I'm so bad, I'm just cutting and pasting. I got one message and I'm cutting and pasting it with my phone number to every fine chick there was. If she fine, she get the cut and paste. Oh, she fine too. She get my everybody getting the same damn message. Cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. Copy and paste, copy and paste. Everybody getting the copy and paste. I done sent copy and paste to like 150 females in an hour and a half. I ain't realized how much I was copy and pasting. And this the irony of it. Ain't none of them have nothing to do with what I was looking for in a Colombian woman. None of them. Not a one. And then I went to the advanced settings and I met some of the most attractive, professional, good women in Medellin. I'm like, bet. That's all I had to do was just pay for the membership and use the advanced settings instead of copy and pasting to every female that I thought was so sexy. I know what you was doing, man. I was doing the same. Believe you me. He said they're going to these dating websites chasing squirrels. Yep, squirrel chasing. That was what I was doing. I was a squirrel herder. I'm herding squirrels. Shout out to you, Jeffrey, for that one. Yep. Yeah, I hear some good things about Bumble. That's why I said there are some of them that I can't give too much commentary about because they came along after I was with Andrea. So Bumble, I never got a chance to use. So any comment that I have to say about Bumble is kind of like just me talking to be talking because I have no experience with it. I know Flyboy Way, he has some good commentary and some good videos on it on Bumble, but he met some really good women on Bumble, but I can't give my 2 cents about it. So it could be pretty good. I know Ace has done it too. But let's get back to the video. The one lady was just saying that she said, I'm in Europe. My friend gets drunk. She passes out and she's like, we can't call an ambulance. Why? It's too expensive. And everybody's like, what the fuck you talking about? Ambulances are free here in the UK, girl. You don't call that get that girl medical attention. I looked up after that video, I looked up the cost of the average ambulance ride in the United States. I didn't know this. There are 2 costs to an ambulance ride in the United States. Like in the States, if you break your leg and you're by yourself and you need some help with an ambulance, that's about $900, rounded up $1,000. If they have to come, I didn't know this. Like I said, I didn't know it was 2 prices. If they have to come to save your life, that's $1,200 on top. Actually, $1,300 on top of the $1,000 for coming to see you. The average ambulance ride in the United States is a little bit under $2,300. You ain't paying no $2,300 here in Colombia. I don't think it's a cost here in Colombia. If it is, it's next to nothing. Let me look it up real quick because y'all know me. Cost of an ambulance ride in Colombia. Cost of an ambulance ride in Colombia is free. You living in the country, if something happened to your ass, you guaranteed to come out of at least out of that $1,000 for them coming to pick you up, or If they got to save your life, that's another $1,300 on top of that. You ain't made it to the hospital yet, and all those bills just waiting for you. It's just the fact that they had to throw you inside the ambulance and pump you full of whatever to save your life. That's gonna be that's gonna be $2,300. But the young lady was so programmed to think that in the UK, I don't know if my friend could afford $2,300. Let's not call an ambulance in a country where it's free. That's that PTSD that kicks in on expats. I kid you not. There's so much that got us fucked up in the head in these countries. So fucked up in the head in these countries that is so much that you don't realize that you've been traumatized with the United States. Once again, this is not a rant against our country. He said here in Canada, an ambulance ride will cost you just $45. Not in the States. He said, well, at least in Ontario. Shout out to Ontario. I used to love going to Ontario. I'm an Ontario Windsor man myself. Windsor, Ontario. You know, coming from Detroit, right across the bridge. Going to the clubs as a kid. This is the stuff that you won't experience until you're actually outside the United States. And you'll realize. Another thing that you have to realize, and I talk about this during consultations, that when you no longer live in the United States, you got to learn to be patient. We are not a patient people in the United States. We are programmed to be impatient. Rush, 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 rush. Me and Will could go to a restaurant, eat a good meal. Me and Troy could go to a restaurant, eat a good meal. Me and Victory can go to a good restaurant, eat a good meal. Ain't nobody gonna be coming to us, bothering us, rushing us out the door. It doesn't matter if it's 50 people standing outside, ain't nobody coming to us to rush us out. We could sit there in that restaurant till it closed down and the staff members are putting on their motorcycle helmets, ready to ride home. Ready to ride home. Nobody's rushing you in most countries out the door so the next customers can come in. It just doesn't happen. Nobody's rushing in the grocery stores. I was telling a brother yesterday, he just got here 2 days ago. So I took him to the grocery store yesterday, right? And we're in Exeter. It was only 3 of us in line. I said, we're going to be here about 20 minutes. He said, what? I said, bruh, this is Colombia. They take their time. Ain't no, in Colombia, you don't be seeing them swiping like, spleep, spleep, spleep. That's the state side. Here in Colombia, it's almost like they read the can. Squeep, swipe. Then they read the next package. So split. When I first got here, I used to be like, if y'all don't hurry up and get these people out so I can come. Now I'm just laid back. You can have a conversation, just talk while you're waiting in line at the grocery store. It's nothing. You don't trip on it. You do not trip on it no more. But because we've been programmed with the expat, with the American TSD, we don't know any better. We don't know that you can go into a restaurant, sit down, have some drinks at 5. Man, me and my boy TA around the corner, ex-Navy brother, man, it'll be a Saturday. Me and TA will go to a sports bar, sit there at 2 o'clock, especially the sports bar in the mall, where you can just sit back, turn your chair around, have your cold drink, and watch the eye candy go by, man, it'll be 2 o'clock. Man, me and TA been in there. It'll be times we done been in there from 1 o'clock to 7:30. Just sitting there conversing, talking to the staff. The owner comes in. We'll talk to him and his wife. Just order some food, eat some food there, sitting there at the bar, just minding our business in the mall. You ain't got to be in a rush. Life is not a rush. Colombia got 18 holidays. Shout out to EMB for letting me know. 18 holidays. By law, all holidays must fall on a Monday. So they automatically get a 3-day weekend, most of them. Most countries ain't in a rush like United States. We've been programmed to believe that the world is in a rush. And it's not true. Talk to my man GCLA in the building. He said, hype greed is choking the United States. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's GC, I came across an article last month, and then I saw the headline of it again on Instagram. Shout out to you for the $10 super chat. And the headline read, America in September officially burned through 100% of our personal savings that we saved during the pandemic. All the money, because wasn't nobody going nowhere, so a lot of people put their money in investments. A lot of people that put their money in their checking account. A lot of people that put their money in their savings account. As of September 2023, all the money that we had in our savings account. Now, I know a lot of y'all got savings accounts. You still got your money. But what I'm saying, they're saying per capita or as a country as a whole, we had like 10 billion in savings after the pandemic. As of 2022, we were down to 2 billion in savings as a country in our bank accounts. As of September 2023, we are officially, as a nation, when you talk about savings, Americans are fucking broke. All these females that talk about, I'm a boss chick, you ain't got nothing but college debts. I don't know why y'all keep I don't see why y'all keep believing these lies that the women in the United States. Okay, if they balling like that, why are they so stressed to get you to take them out to a $200 to $500 dinner? Because they ain't got the money to do it themselves. I could take myself out and do it. We'll do it then. When was the last time? It's your girlfriend's birthday. It's your birthday. Or you're celebrating some other thing and you're about to go out to a nice restaurant in the States. When was the last time you and your girl were out having a great evening date night at an expensive restaurant where you know you're going to spend at least about $250, $500? It's a celebration. When was the last time you saw any of those black women sitting there by themselves paying for a $200 meal? Ever. White women sitting there by themselves paying for the modern women $200 meal, ever, by themselves. I have never, ever walked into a nice 5-star, 4-star restaurant. I know I'm about to spend a nice chunk of money and a couple bottles of wine at this restaurant, and I glance over, and it's a sister that's making enough money to pay for it themselves, sitting right over there. I have never seen it in my life. Ever. Ever. I've seen sisters that have dined by themselves. Yes, I have. But in some of those exclusive, nice restaurants, I ain't never seen them sitting over there by themselves, eating and dining in the name of, because I can afford it. Ever. So when they sit back and they talk about something, I can pay for it myself. There you go. Prove it. Because I ain't never been in a nice restaurant and saw y'all do it. ever. Maybe some of you dudes have seen what I ain't seen since I've been gone. I ain't never seen none of them divas, none of them modern women, none of them. I don't need no man women in a nice restaurant by themselves paying for a $500 meal ever. I see them with another dude, or maybe sometimes with their girlfriends, but by themselves, hell, let's stop. Most Americans invest in Taylor Swift and Beyonce tickets. Shout out to Taylor Swift for becoming a billionaire off the backs of Americans. I ain't mad at it. Get your money. America's a corporation, not a country. I keep trying to tell y'all think I'm lying. Every one of y'all that keep on trying to act like America's a country, that's why Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and all these other people getting up into 100 millions, 200 millions, because they realize America is not a country. It was not set up to be a country. It was set up to be a corporation. Let's get this money country. So while y'all sitting up there like this, Taylor Swift like this, talking to her accountants. How much am I worth now? I think I can double that. Rihanna, all these people becoming billionaires while you sitting around trying to argue with some white boy about the rights of America. We need to stop those immigrants coming across. You ain't seen Taylor Swift talk one time about a damn immigrant come across. You ain't seen Jay-Z. You ain't seen Puffy. You ain't seen Snoop Dogg. Everybody that's over 500 million, you ain't seen them open up their mouth one time about one immigrant coming to the country. You know why? Because they ain't focused on it being a country. They are focusing on being a corporation. People with that level of money talk about money. That's what they do. That's their hobby. That's their sport. Not saying that they are in love with money, but they realize that what country they live in is a country of consumers. So go ahead. It don't matter. Taylor Swift and Beyonce could put their tickets up to $4,000 a lick and still sell out in the United States, because the country has been programmed to be consumers. And then you come to other countries, when I keep trying to tell y'all, you don't need them expensive ass Jordans. You don't need the new Iversons. You don't be needing yes, be clean. But you ain't gonna get the sex no faster than I would if I was single. You would get it no faster. Most countries care about grooming and fashion. America cares about brand. We care about style and brand. We do not focus on fashion like we think we do. Europeans, they focus on fashion. Colombians, they focus on grooming. Good teeth, hair look right. If you're bald, how are you exercising? Is your shirt ironed? If you're wearing Converse, is the white part clean? They care about grooming. Women, is her makeup just right? Is her hair just right? They care about grooming in South America. They are not focusing on a brand. They are not focused on your gold chain. You will not get dudes be having gold chains on and get the coochie after a dude that didn't have a gold chain on. What you saying, Dre? You having all that gold around your neck ain't gonna do nothing but make you a target, and you ain't gonna get the coochie no faster. If it was a race between a dude with the gold chain on and a dude that don't got the gold chain on, I will put my money on the dude without the gold chain getting the coochie faster than the dude with the gold chain on. You ain't gonna get, unless you got some dumb party girl. Dumb girls will always do dumb stuff, and no matter what country you in. So you're gonna always find a group of dumb chicks, but a regular chick, man, please. You do not get the coochie no faster. I got these new Jordans on. They don't know what the new Jordans are. Man, I got the fresh Ivies on, the ones that just came. They don't know what the Iverson is. That's why you ain't go in the States. You can put the new Iversons on, and a female will know. Oh, girl, he got the new Iversons on. He got the new Jordans. That's the States. Here, they still impress. If you put if you got Jordan 1 through 10, you impressing a Colombian. I'm gonna say that again. If you just got Jordans 1 through 10, you basically can impress most women in South America if it's gonna come to the Jordans. But anything that's new, they have not said. I got the new Yeezys. Ain't nobody wearing them slippery motherfuckers down here. Ain't nobody impressed. Ain't nobody gonna stop you and steal your Yeezys, because they're like, hey man, we got to rob that dude. He got the new Yeezys on. Not here. They don't give a. And y'all keep on. Y'all turn once these live streams goes off and the cameras go out and the lights go out. Y'all go still try to come down here with the gold around y'all neck. Fuck what Andre talking about. He don't know what he talking about. And I'm telling you, you can wear all the gold you want like you missed a motherfucking T, and you will not get the coochie no faster than another dude that's well groomed. He got nice teeth. His breath is good because he floss. I'm gonna say it again. His breath is good because he flosses. Take care of that. He gargles. He shaves. He puts on a decent cologne. And you ain't gonna get no coochie faster than that dude with your Jordans. And half of y'all only go out at night anyway, so can't nobody see your Jordans in the club anyway. But they could tell if you well groomed. That's South America. America has you PTSD program. I got to get the latest of that brand. I'm gonna tell you guys something else that you don't even realize how much they got you programmed when it comes to brands in the United States. Did you know this? I knew this when I used to sell my own clothing line. Shout out to my man GC LA once again. Immigrants fuel the growth of the economy the last 30 years by buying more goods and services. Absolutely correct. Consumerism. U.S. birth rate was not enough. Preach, brother. Preach. I've been saying that for the longest. Y'all stop having kids. Thanks again for the super chat, brother. Y'all stop having kids in the States and other countries too, not just the United States, other countries too. What do? They start letting immigrants in. They're doing the same thing in Europe right now. They are letting herds of African brothers and sisters into Europe, and Europeans are bitch. Why are they letting all those Africans over here? Well, y'all ain't have no kids in Europe. Since y'all don't want to have no kids to be a part of the labor force, guess what they doing? They letting in people who want to be a part of the labor force. Same thing in Europe. Same thing in the United States. President Biden and other politicians I've literally heard it come out of their mouth. The reason why we're letting these people in because y'all ain't fucking enough and having enough kids. That's one of the reasons. And since y'all ain't having enough, since y'all not giving birth to enough worker bees and taxpayers, we need worker bees and we need taxpayers by any means necessary. That's what they're doing in the United States. That's what they're doing in Europe, certain countries in Europe. Shout out to my man Wall Report in the building. Salute to you, brethren. And shout out to you, brother, for the donation to the Cash App. All Cash Apps are going to the Children's Cancer Foundation here in Colombia for the next. We got 2 more months left, November, December. We're at, like I said, we're almost at $1,200. Almost at $1,200 right now. Last year we gave away $1,700, so we're at $1,200. We got 2 months to go. So all Cash Apps for the month of November and December will be added on to those the 1,200 that we're almost at right now. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to my man Wall Report, who always gives towards the Children's Cancer Foundation. My man Swab's in the building as well. Shout out to you, brother. Let's continue on with the video. I got a little bit more of the video as well. And remember, these videos are about.
If you're an American that has moved abroad,
expats.
what are the things you've realized
Stop
that you no
this
longer
right here, my
fear?
bad. These videos are about expats that are dealing with expat PTSD, like I have. Stuff that you didn't know that had you mentally tore up, that you learned about that you experienced in the United States, and then when you go to other countries, you got to unlearn some stuff. And it'd be some stuff that you don't realize that traumatized you in the United States, like riding through subways in other countries. You're traumatized as a New Yorker, right? Because you're so used to riding New York and Chicago trains that you're feeling like every train in the world got to be dangerous. And it's not in most countries. Every time somebody, like the one young lady, she thought the dude was hiding something dangerous. All he was doing was keeping his beer. It's things like that that's got us messed up in the head in the States. And you don't realize as a U.S. citizen, you think your country have been looking out for you. At least, we all know there's issues that no matter what country you live in, there's some issues that could be improved upon, no matter where you live. But we at least thought America wasn't messing our heads up too bad. And then you go to other countries and you realize, no, your country fucked your head all the way up. All the way. Let's go back to the video.
If you're an American that has moved abroad, what are the things you've realized that you no longer fear?
Here are a few things that I no longer fear since leaving the U.S. I no longer fear the cost of living. My rent, utilities, food, transportation are only a fraction of what I used to pay in the U.S. My quality of life has drastically improved because I'm able to focus on building a life without constantly stressing over money. I no longer fear being the only Black person in the room. Having a lot of trauma and anxiety when faced with this, I purposely moved to the Caribbean where I knew that I would never feel outnumbered if someone decided to pop off at the mouth. In 7 years, I've only had 2 issues and they were squashed pretty quickly. I no longer fear the police because where I live, they're not overly aggressive. And I know that if I'm involved in a traffic stop, it won't end up with me being unalived simply for the color of my skin. I no longer fear violence because in Belize, there are very strict laws.
I think we've all had that boss where we see that can be our lives in 20 or 30 years. I just don't think we have to accept that. That the opposite of happiness isn't sadness, but it's actually boredom. And I just didn't want to sit bored in that office. No matter what the alternative was, I just didn't want to do that. I think that people want to have $10 million in their bank account, and that fantasy is nice. But the fantasy of what that actually gives you, the freedom that would give, is what we're actually after. And once you realize that you don't need $10 million to have that freedom, that's when the game changes.
Why are people from the United States so loud? Seriously, I have no idea. It never fails. No matter what country we're in, there's always some person from the United States talking at a ridiculously loud volume. Is it because we don't realize how loud we are? Or we really just want everyone to know what we're talking about? I don't know. Do you know?
Okay, quick story time. When I was planning on leaving the United States, I was in a relationship with a man who had an extensive criminal background. It was nothing crazy, he was an addict, and let's just leave it at that. And because he had an extensive record, it was very difficult for him to find a job, so I supported the both of us. At the time, I was working in a restaurant at night, I was a virtual assistant during the day, and I was also learning how to code and do web development. And if you know anything about learning how to code, you know how arduous that process can be. So for 2 years, I worked my ass off and saved every single dime that we had in order for us to leave. And right before it was time for us to go, he ended up getting arrested. It was at that point that I realized that he had also blown through our entire savings. So there I was, absolutely devastated, absolutely flat broke. I had $2,000 to my name and I decided to leave anyway. I lined up a year's worth of house sitting assignments and I took off to the Caribbean with a one-way ticket. My plan was to do web development while I traveled through the Caribbean, and it was going to be an amazing adventure. And it started out really great until I got to my third assignment and I realized that the owner of the house had lied to me and there was absolutely no internet connection on the island. The assignment was for 3 months, and a month and a half in, Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria came through the Caribbean and wiped everything out. And along with it, wiped out all of my house sitting assignments. So I had to think on my feet, and I actually landed myself a job as a private chef and resort manager. That job turned into a job as a yacht chef that took me through the entire Caribbean and landed me in Belize. I worked in Belize for around a year until I completely burned out and I decided to leave and go to Costa Rica, where I worked on building my own business. And ever since then, I have been on my own, doing my own thing, and it's worked out really well for me. I say all of that to say this. Absolutely nothing is impossible. If I could make that shit show of a life work, anybody can make their shit show of a life work. Trust me.
She's 100% correct. The reason why I posted that one is the last one. We're going to go backwards. Is she learned and leveled up. She learned and leveled up. She said, when I was in the States, my bad. I was with a dude that had an addiction. I thought I could help him. He ended up stealing everything that we ended up having, and he ended up going back to jail. She said the whole time I'm learning how to do coding. Shout out to all you dudes that's learning to do coding, cybersecurity, and online work. She said, I'm busting my butt for 2 years straight to learn this cybersecurity and this coding. She said, which is not an easy thing to do. She said, I moved to the Caribbeans, get me a bunch of house sitting jobs, which a lot of guys don't talk about. You can live in people's houses and watch their homes for them from location to location around the world. There are websites for it. So you ain't got no excuse but saying you ain't got no place to stay. She said, but Hurricane Irma came through, wiped all that out. I had to think on my feet. Mind you, I'm going to repeat that. She said I had to think on my feet. Mind you, she didn't go back to the United States. Hurricane wiped all her dreams away. She left the United States with the little $2,000 that she had, and she had nothing but her online skills when it came to coding. But since the Wi-Fi got knocked out and all the homes that she was going to stay in for house sitting, they're done. She said, I had to think on my feet. You know what? I could cook. And that opened up doors, and it opened up more doors and more doors. Now, one time that this woman said, I had to go back to the States to get my life on track. The States got some of y'all so scared to relocate and travel to other countries with that PTSD that's in your head that you actually think some of y'all, come on, let's be real. Some of us don't want to leave the United States because we're scared that if it don't work out, we're going to have to go back to the States and people going to talk about us, what you doing back. I'm going to tell you something, and I've said this several times. If it all falls apart for me and Andrea here, there is no way in hell I'm moving back to the States. There's over 100. This woman, there's over 190 plus countries other than the United States that I will go to. I am not going back to the States. I don't need to. To visit, yes. Hang out, yes. Visit family and stuff like that. Investments, yes. But just to like live, oh hell no, oh hell no. I'm like her when she first told her first story, when she was in the first video, and she said, I am no longer afraid of cost of living, bills, high gas prices, high food prices. Another reason why I could never live in the States again, because I know how much food is really supposed to cost. I say it again. Now that I've been in enough countries to know that this onion is supposed to cost, and these vitamins are supposed to cost, and this bottled water is supposed to cost. There is no way in hell you go get me to go back to a country that's gonna lie to me and say, well, this is $3. Oh, hell, it ain't. It's 57 cents around the world. How the hell you gonna convince me that this is supposed to be $2.99 when in the rest of the world it is 57 cents, 83 cents, 91 cents, 98 cents? So I'm supposed to go back to a country and lie to myself when I know that rent around the world is hovering around $1,000 and less to get a great place. And I'm supposed to pretend like I'm in the States and I'm gonna pay $200, $300, $400, $1,200, $2,200, $3,000 for the exact same spot that I know in most countries, not all, most countries, that same apartment only costs $400 a month. And I'm supposed to pretend like I don't know that no more. You see what I'm saying? That's why I can't live in the States. I'm like her. I no longer fear cost of living. I no longer fear when it comes for the bills at the beginning of the month. I'm no longer like the United States. It's not about fear. It's not about the fact that I didn't have money and she didn't have money. Remember, she said she had savings until a dude stole the money from her. I'm sitting back talking about something like Victory says. I'm paying $5,000 for rent in the United States. I pay $420 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, washer and dryer unit, 12-foot vaulted ceilings, 8-foot, 10-foot vaulted closets right in front of me. Security, parking garage, indoor parking garage. We got a lemon tree park right next to us, so I ain't got no neighbors. We're on the highest floor, which is the 3rd floor. We got a terrace up top. If you guys ever watch Ace's video of when he went to Tinder in Cali, that's right on top of our terrace. That view is our terrace of the mountains. And I only pay $420 a month. That includes Wi-Fi. That includes utilities. That includes a cable. And I'm supposed to pretend like I'm going to move back to the United States and pay $5,000, $550, $5,500 a month. I'm supposed to pretend like I'm actually comfortable with that going back to the States. See, some of y'all sit back, you criticize us that move to other countries, and you ain't thinking that our brains ain't wired like that no more. My brain is not wired to spend $5,000. Do you know how big of a house you can get if you paying that much a month in South America? You can get a 4-plex and rent 3 of them out as Airbnbs for $550 a month. $5,500 a month. Man, for $5,500 a month, bruh, ain't nobody even making that down here like that, except for politicians and business owners. You know what neighborhoods you can live in for that amount? For half that amount. For $5,500 a month, you ain't living in Medellin. I'll say it again. You ain't living in Cali. You're not living in Bogota. You are not living in Cartagena. You living in them rich ass outskirts. You living in the rich outskirts of Cali. You living in the rich outskirts of Medellin that most dudes ain't never seen in Medellin, because you on the outskirts. The house that you got so large, it's on the outskirts of Bogota, the outskirts of Cartagena. For that amount, it doesn't even have to be that amount. You $3,000 dues a month. It's the same thing. My brain is no longer locked in to being comfortable with what you pay in the United States. I see y'all struggling. I see y'all robbing people to pay Paul. I see y'all, you got family members calling you to borrow money. You got credit card debts out the yin yang. You got college loans that need to be paid started October 1st. Don't pretend you don't lie to your brother. Lie to these Colombians that don't know. But you can't lie to your brother, your fellow American. I know what's popping off in the States. I know how much gas prices are killing y'all. You can't even fill up the tank like you used to because the gas is burning out like it's just made of water. I know what's going on in the States. So y'all can pretend and lie to the rest of the world, but I'm telling you now, I'm not moving back there because I am aware of how much it costs around the world. And that expensive ass United States, it ain't worth it. At least if I was in Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, Newfoundland, Austria, I got free healthcare, free education. I'll be living in the parts of the world where there's more millionaires and billionaires in all of Europe. I know the infrastructure is immaculate. The roads are superb. At least if I'm paying this amount in Switzerland, oh, I'm getting all type of tax deals. Even if you doing all that. In the United States, you paying all that, and then you pay taxes, and most of it's going to the military. Military contracts where everybody, military and pharmaceutical contracts where they get paid out the yin yang because they got government contracts to get your money. So anybody got to say something. When I hear people criticize about why you leave the United States, you can't handle it. No, you don't get it. Most people in the world are not trying to handle the United States. That's why out of all those immigrants you see come to the United States or coming to Europe, it ain't no doctors, are there? Lawyers, attorneys, engineers. No school principals coming to America through Texas, Arizona, none of them. Y'all ain't getting none of the top. Ain't no politicians from Venezuela made it over there. No. So ain't none of them cross the Rio Grande to come into the United States. Oh, so y'all only getting the brokest of the brokest broke motherfuckers to come into the United States as immigrants. Because anybody else with some sense in all these other countries, they ain't going nowhere. I'm sitting up here and I'm gonna tell y'all something for real, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm literally sitting at the wedding this weekend. Wow. I'm literally sitting at the wedding this weekend. Andrea's aunt gets married. I'm sitting up there looking at her, and you know, I'm American, so I'm daydreaming as an American for a moment, right? And I'm thinking to myself, all these people in this wedding, some of them got good jobs, some of them got great jobs, some just got decent jobs. All these people, everybody in Andrea's family is officially married. Everybody. Except for grandma, that's because granddad died while they were married. I'm thinking to myself, just for a split second, as I'm talking to her cousin, I'm thinking not one of these people have ever considered going to the United States. Right now is the easiest time as an immigrant to just walk your happy ass into the United States. Not one of these people in this room are throwing away their jobs, their career, their homes to go to the United States. Not one of them throwing away nursing degrees, MBA over there, business owner, farmer over there, rancher over there. Ain't none of these people throwing away. I'm literally thinking they're saying none of these people. They could go to the states. The gates of the states are open. And ain't none of these people that you see walking up and down the street of Colombia, riding their motor. Some people are flat broke in Colombia. Some people got money out the yin yang in Colombia. Ain't nobody leaving except the brokest of the brokest of the brokest. Ain't none of these people, they don't talk like it, they don't glance like it. They look at it like Americans look at it on the news. It's over there. It's not over here, it's over there, it's over yonder. These people ain't going nowhere. All these lies that America has sold me that everybody wants to come to America, that PTSD, that right there. Everybody wants to come to America. And then you live in countries with people that just got just enough or people that got a lot and they ain't moving nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. These people going to get up in the morning, go to work the next day, live their lives. Ain't none of them put no back. And dude, any of you guys that come to Colombia, you already know. You watch these Venezuelans and you watching the poor of the poor Colombians walking down the street. If you got a vehicle, you will see them on the freeways all day long, just walking. All you see is Venezuelans walking through Colombia. Broke Colombians walking through Colombia. You'll see them walking down the street, 3 or 4 backpacks. You'll see them with like 2 or 3 kids. You will see them going through. And the average Colombian just watch them walk past and keep on living their happy life in their own country with their own nationality, their own ethnicity, and their own race. They don't give a about living in the United States. Ain't blink once about living in the United States. Would like to visit like anybody would, but to live in that expensive motherfucker. Like the one sister just said, she has no fear of cost of living. The second thing she said was she has no fear of being the only black person in the room. No matter where, the fact that in the United States, they don't tell us about all these brothers and sisters that are located in South America and in the Caribbean is a damn shame. The fact that I got an interview coming up with the sister real soon, beautiful chocolate sister. And she reached out to me after I reached out to her. And her video that caught my eye was, why don't y'all believe that I'm Colombian? Because I'm chocolate, y'all don't believe I'm Colombian. That's because Americans don't even know blacks live in South America. You do not talk about blacks when you talk about Brazil. Don't lie. When you were thinking about Brazil, before you came to Brazil, you were not thinking about sisters. You were not thinking about brothers. You were not thinking about black Venezuelans. Don't lie. You were not thinking about black people in Ecuador. You were not thinking about black people in Chile. You were not thinking about black people in Argentina. And you damn sure wasn't thinking about black people existing in Colombia. Most of us didn't even know that these people were even in South America. And we damn sure didn't even know Argentina was in South America. Let's be real. We thought Argentina was some damn way in Europe. Let's be real. Come on, let's be real with it. You get down here, you're like, oh shit, Argentina in South America? Oh damn, I'm dumb. But don't feel bad. Most Americans don't even know how many stars on the damn flag. Ain't it like 47? I'm gonna let y'all know now. There's a lot of PTSD that's in your mind right now. A lot of trauma. You've been traumatized by the prices that you pay in the United States. Traumatized by it. I know I have been. You scratching your head. Comedians crack jokes about it because it's the norm in the United States to overpay for everything. Pack of cigarettes in the United States. God, man, I remember cigarettes was 99 cents. Now you got to dang near take out a loan for a pack of cigarettes. Next thing she said was police brutality. She said, I don't have to worry about, that's one thing I can say about Colombia. Only time I've seen some dude get his butt whooped in Colombia by the police is he deserved it. Or she deserved it. I have never seen police put their hands on someone, and they do that like a last resort. But I've never seen the police just jump out, guns ablazing. That's some U.S. stuff. You think I'm going, if there was any reason, if they say, Andre, just grab one reason, mine would be cost of living. But if I had a part 2 reason why I wouldn't go back to the States, you better believe I do not trust the police system, the mass policing in the United States. More people incarcerated. You got 9 million people incarcerated in the United States, right? 9 million? What country do you know other than the United States have a prison corporate system to where the prisons are on the New York Stock Exchange? Name one country that you know that has a penal system to where they are making so much money with government contracts hands over fist. Other than the United States. UK, nope. Canada, nope. China, nope. Russia, nope. Only country in the world that's balling out of control every time a male or a female goes to jail is the United States. Free labor. And y'all want me to move back to that. And y'all want to convince me that y'all are living that life of Riley, that y'all are really living in Shangri-La. Like I said, 4 reasons. Y'all always hear me say this. The only 4 reasons people stay in the States: family, friends, finance, and fear. That's it. If you didn't have family in the States, if you didn't have finance in the States, you take care of your money, your friends, or your comfort zone in the States, and you didn't have fear, you'd have been gone. Half you dudes would have been gone. But you got fear, meaning that you're worried about what's going to happen. Well, this sister just told her story. Everything fell apart. I had a crackhead for a boyfriend. Boom, 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 boom. He stole all the money. Boom, 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 boom. I still took my trip. Boom, 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 boom. Thought it was going to be something. Boom, 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 boom. Hurricane came. Boom, 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 boom. Lost all my dreams. But I guarantee you bet there is one thing I didn't go back. Doom, doom, doom. She ain't go back. All hell broke loose. But the one thing that she realized, I would rather build a life with the little $2,000 I got in my hand than to take my ass back to the United States and deal with that handful of bullshit. And some of y'all hate when y'all hear other people say it because you are so programmed and y'all think we just haters. That's the part. Ain't nobody hating on the States. We love the United States. And y'all think that you can criticize. Here it is. Check it out. You think that you got more of a right to say what you say about the United States because you're in the country than your own fellow citizens because we just so happen to step out of the country. We can't say shit no more. That's like when people, I hate when people sit back and say, well, you can't fight for black rights because you're not married to a black woman anymore. So since James Earl Jones was married to a white woman, James Earl Jones couldn't fight for the rights of black people? You know how many civil rights leaders had white wives that fought for the rights of black people, even though they had a white wife or an Asian wife or a Latin wife? But because you're no longer black on black, you can't fight for the plight. And that's the same bullshit that's sold when y'all sit back and say, well, you can't say you're a hater of America. But if I was literally on American soil complaining at a bar like we do all the time, or complaining in the barbershops, or complaining at work about what's going on in the States, oh, I'm all American then. But since I'm saying what I'm saying outside the States, you must not like America. Y'all can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You're either going to accept the fact that somebody is on your team and they're willing to sit back and say, wait a minute, I just realized something that maybe I can do. That no matter what we say, that we still love America and we aren't going anywhere. We're not tearing down our home country. And a lot of people don't realize that. We got 60 people in the building. Make sure you click that like button. Let's go through what the one man said, and then we're going to be into the live stream soon. He said that we burn so much of our lifetime or life energy going after the big bucks, that $10 million that they told us that we need to have, that we don't realize that most of us want to spend money on what it took to get freedom. Most of us want to spend money on what it takes to get freedom. You tell somebody there's a lottery winner, they say, I'm going to buy me a house, buy me a car, and then I'm going to travel the world. Then I'm going to travel the world. And so that's what they end up. In other words, people try to get rich to do what we're already doing. You caught that? There are people in the world that are trying to get rich in order to do what we are already doing. That's the crazy part. They want our freedom, which is nothing wrong with that, because I would want the exact same thing. I just discovered how to make the moderator. That's why I got quiet. Shout out to family in the building. He said, I agree with you 100%, Andre. He said, but the situation in Venezuela is a bit more complicated. Tis true, my friend. Tis true. The country is in turmoil. Turmoil. Just like Argentina. Man, Argentina inflation is crazy. And the majority of the population can't afford to live there. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. But that doesn't mean that the best, guess what the best of the best of Venezuelans are doing? Moving to Brazil, moving to Colombia, and bringing their skills, the best of the best. Their doctors that don't make it there, come here. Go to Ecuador. The best of the best, they've already been here 5, 10, 15 years. The best of the best, that when Venezuela inflation rate was 13,000%. Look it up. The highest inflation rate in world history. Ever since they've been recording this. 13,000% inflation rate. Those who had engineering skills, a few dollars, those who were the investors, those who were the architects, those who were of the upper echelon, they'd already been gone. They moved to the States, and they didn't go through, they went through the proper channels. They didn't walk to the United States. They came to Colombia. They moved to Brazil. They moved to Ecuador. They moved to Europe and Spain. The ones that were of, and I'm not talking about ballers. I'm just talking about people that got a damn education. The ones that had a little bit of education about them in Venezuela that wanted to leave and saw it falling apart, they left before the broke. You know, broke people are always the last ones to do something. Broke people always, they can sit back and watch people that have degrees, education, and focus go after something. And broke people will sit up there and watch while everybody else is leaving. I wonder where they're going. They're getting on planes. Oh well, pass the beer. And then when it's broke, when it's so bad that even broke people have to leave, such as Venezuela. Now they gotta walk 2,000 miles. So yeah, times got tight in Venezuela. I'm with you. But the ones that had a few dollars put to the side, oh, they've been left. The ones that want to stay, stayed. They had farms and they just decided to ride it out in their farm area. They're like, listen, I own a house in the city and I own a big ranch on the other side of Venezuela. I'm about to go to my ranch. I ain't about to deal with this in the big cities. Or I'm about to go to America. I'm about to fly on in. I ain't got to deal with this. I got a passport. I've been to America 3 or 4 times. The brokest of the broke. So when we sit back and we say a country is the responses are different. I've done enough research on Venezuela to know the responses of the haves. And like I said, I'm not talking about ballers. I'm just talking about people that had a few dollars put to the side. The response between the ballers and the broke ass people who stayed around Venezuela, thought it was going to change, completely different responses. You got the broke of the broke of the broke now walking through Colombia, not stopping in Colombia. They ain't stopping in Colombia. They trying to walk their ass to the United States. Crazy. Crazy. Let me see if I can get this now. Yep. It's crazy. Yeah. So basically the gentleman was saying that a lot of us, and I'm going to end it with this, a lot of us bust our butt to get the freedom that it doesn't take as much to get to. And that's why I like how the sister ended her story. She said, if I can make it through the fucked up life that I experienced, you can make it through the fucked up life that you experiencing in the States. She's letting you know, if you really want to relocate to outside the United States, you ain't got no damn excuse. You ain't dating a crackhead that's gonna steal all your money, are you? Nope. Most of y'all ain't. You ain't got to deal with no hurricanes, are you? Nope. You ain't dealing with no hurricanes. The Wi-Fi ain't bad in another country to where you can't do your cyber security or your coding, is it? Nope. All your job prospects disappear because her job's to be a house sitter for at least 2 years. That washed away. All she had was $2,000 left. You ain't going through all that, are you? None of that. None. She telling you, if you ain't got none of all the shit that I've been through, and I made it as a woman, because you know a woman's supposed to be scared of everything according to what we say as men. They're supposed to be worried and scared about everything. And if she can do it as a woman, she calling bullshit on all you men that ain't did it yet. Now, I'm not talking to you guys that got responsibilities still at home in the States. Mind you, you take care of your mom, your kids, you got business responsibilities, you own a few properties, or you're still working on your job, you got a few years before retirement, you got child support, whatever, you got responsibilities. I'm not talking to you gentlemen or ladies. But I am talking to you dudes that have been riding the fence for the last few years on whether you're going to relocate or not. And this sister's telling you why you bullshit. I call your bullshit. She say, I push my bullshit to the center of the table and I call your bullshit. Now what you going to do? That's why I put that video out there. I want you guys to hear her story of to call bullshit on your bullshit, because you ain't been through no hurricanes, you ain't dated no crackheads who stole all your money, and you only had to scrape together $2,000. You ain't lose all your jobs while you was in another country. You ain't had no Wi-Fi while you was in another country. All that this woman went through, and she ended up with a happy life in Belize, starting her own business. You ain't got no excuse. You let this dude get out of prison. You know me, I'm gonna always talk about you. Because anytime I'm always bring it up. Anytime you let a dude get out of doing 10 years in federal prison, get out and living the life that you want to live, and you had a 10-year head start, I ain't got no mercy for you. Don't be looking for me for grace from me. Hell no. You had 10 years ahead of me. You know how much shit that you could have did with your life in 10 years that I didn't get a chance to do? I had to come in these countries and start traveling in my late 40s and 50s. Some of you dudes ain't even you ain't even 45 yet. And you still scared to travel. You still ain't got a passport. You let me, a convict, do more than you. All right. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. Well, you don't understand my situation, Dre. No, I definitely understand your situation. Like I said, I'm not talking about to the men with responsibilities or the ladies that got responsibilities in the States. I'm talking to those that are still on the fence and you bullshitting around. Well, if I had 300,000, then I would leave. No, that's what you've been programmed to think. That's why your ass ain't going nowhere. Because you've been programmed to think what you think. Man, y'all, I'm telling y'all. And then, just like me and Taylor Made Dreams said this. Taylor Made Dreams said it in 2019, like right around October. I said it right around February of 2019, right around March. I said, y'all gonna bullshit around and not have y'all passports, and something gonna pop off, and y'all gonna get stuck in that motherfucker and wish you was out. Not even 2 months later, pandemic hit. And I'm telling you something, and I mean this while I'm ending this. From watching the news headlines of what's going on in Israel, including the rest of the Middle East, how they doing Americans. If you ain't got your passport and a few dollars put to the side, I'm telling you, I'm seeing the signs of the time popping off. And I'm not predicting or wishing anything on my own country because I love my country. But you can smell another 9/11 in the air now. And the reason why you can smell it, not because of anything that the average American has done, not even anything because of the military has done, but because our borders are so open to anybody just walking into that mother. Even during 9/11 times, nobody could just walk into America. Now you can come from anywhere. All you got to do is just blend in and halfway look Latin. All they got to do is have somebody that don't like our country that halfway look Latin. It could get into the United States and test some shit up. That's why you can smell it in the. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I learned this from prison. You could be in the library, in the law library, just sitting there minding your business, writing, and you'll look up Everybody does this. You be playing cards. And the air would get thick. And you knew a riot was about to break out. Whether it was some dudes fighting at the basketball court, whether it be two rival gangs, you sensed it. You knew just something was in the air that made the air thick, and you could sense. Let me get on back to my room. Let me go on back to my bunk. You take your books, you fold them up, you take them, put them up under your arm, and you walking back to your dorm. Because you know, walking right back to your cell, because you know something about to pop off. And 99% of the time, it never failed. All of a sudden, you hear the sirens going off. You're hearing dudes rushing and running all over the place. And those of us who are, that's the difference between a convict and an inmate. Inmate just getting to jail the first 5 years. He don't know shit. He gonna be out in 6 months. Inmate gonna get 6 months, 30 days, a year and a half, 2 years. You just an inmate. You just a body in here. Convicts, we know the difference. We can smell that shit in the air. We know what cop is cool cop, what cop is not a cool cop. We know who's smashing what cop, what dude ain't smashing a cop. We know all it. We know convicts know everything. Convicts know more about the particular prison that they in than the warden knows. And so convicts, we all in our bunks. We know it's about to pop off. Inmates don't know. All of a sudden, here come the goon squad ready to, with the riot mob, ready to bust dudes upside the head. Not us convicts, because we know. We sense it in the air. Why did I tell that story? I sense it in the air in the United States again. I sense that not. I kid you not. I pray for you. I pray for our families. I smell that 9/11 in the air again. And I'm not pushing out fear. I'm not pushing out hatred. I'm just letting you know I can sense stuff, and it feels like I sense it just like we can sense convicts can sense certain things that will go on in the prison. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm BSing. I can smell, like, you know what? Our borders are too open. It's just too open, where anybody that don't like us can walk through the door. That is not a good thing. And right now, if you ain't got this on deck, I'm telling you, this is the second time I've said it. First time was right before the pandemic. This time I'm serious. I'm just as serious. You ain't got your passport on deck. There's going to come a point in time. Y'all think I'm playing. Y'all think other dudes are playing. When we told y'all, you going to wish you had it, and you had it on deck, and then the pandemic hit, I'm telling you the second time, you going to wish that you had one of these on deck and think I'm kidding. Think I'm kidding. 75% of 72%, 68% to 72% of Americans are not going to get theirs anyway, and they're not going to use it anyway. They're not. You can't drag your cousins and them. You ain't gonna be able to drag sisters. Nope. Ex-girlfriends. Nope. You are not going to be dragging most Americans onto a plane. It's not going to happen. I know you want to rescue and help everybody. They do not want to leave. They are not going to leave. But I'm telling you, just like during the pandemic, most Americans did not leave. And I'm so glad I didn't get stuck in that mother. Y'all, anytime you got so many bodies that y'all got to rent trucks, ice trucks to put bodies in, because the morgues in the hospital can't even keep up with all the man, please. One state on lockdown, the other state ain't. one state got the machines to take care of everybody, but they won't loan the machines to another state. They lying to y'all about when or what you're gonna get for the stimulus money. Nah, man, y'all gonna take it. Y'all have fun with that. At the same time, prices of everything is going up and never going back down. Frederick Douglass was married to a white woman. Shout out. Yeah, I remember that. I was trying to think of the other person too. I didn't realize that was Frederick Douglass. And I just read his book a couple months ago. When I hear some of these pro-blacks talk trash about interracial marriages, I instantly turn them out. Yes, I do. I'll do the same thing, Charles. That's like a corporate job when many of the management start leaving. Something is. That's a great analogy, because any of us that have been to corporate America, you notice that. You do notice that when the bosses start leaving, all of a sudden so-and-so are gone. So-and-so's gone. So-and-so's got fired. So-and-so retired. All of a sudden, everybody getting laid off. That's a good one. That is a good one. Will say, did I check the cash app? Let me check the cash app. I didn't check the cash app on you brothers today. Let me go check the cash app real quick before my phone dies. Shout out to you brothers that have donated to the cash app too. Oh, shout out to you guys. Shout out to my man Abraham, father of many nations, for the $15 cash app. Shout out to my man Will with the $20 going toward the children. And of course, my man Wall Report every week with the $7.99 love for the kids. Shout out to you brothers, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for reminding me, Will. Thank you very much. He said, hey, man, good to hear from you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He said, if you don't mind me asking me, I was locked up, man, shoot. I was locked up in, let me plug my phone up real quick, because I know that's about to die. I was locked up in 10 different federal prisons on purpose. Hey, I wasn't locked up in the States where you in one prison for the rest of your life. I was a passport bro in prison. I'm going to say it again. When I was in prison, I was traveling. Man, listen, in the feds, they allowed you to transfer every 6 months at that time period. Now it's every 16 months. So you got to do a year and a half. Then you can put in for a transfer to another prison. And so, man, every 6 months, man, your boy Dre was, man, I was a true passport bro. Man, if I could have a passport for my federal prison, I would have had 10 stamps. Stamped. The dudes knew who I was, man, in other prisons before I even got there. I was in, let's see if I can get it, MCC Chicago, downtown, that large building. Jessup, Georgia. Jessup, Georgia is 2 hours outside of Atlanta. El Reno, Oklahoma. Milan, Michigan. Allentown, Pennsylvania, up in the hills. Shout out to Milan, Michigan. That's where I was going. I actually got my degree from University of Ypsilanti up there, my first degree. Milan, Michigan, Jessup, Georgia, Reno, Oklahoma, MCC Chicago, MCC Miami. Man, let me see if MCC Miami, Jessup, Georgia, Lexington, Kentucky. Oh, Terre Haute, Indiana. Shout out to Terre Haute. That's college town. Terre Haute was it was a camp that didn't have any fences. Like you were down to your last 2 years. They're like, man, you ain't going nowhere. So they put you in a camp. They used to let you ride bikes to the local college. Until this one fool during Bush 1 administration rode a bike and deleted a female and rode his bike back to the prison camp. The Bush 1 put an end to that. You ain't ride nowhere, no more bikes. You ain't ride to no more colleges. So Terre Haute, Indiana. I know I'm missing a couple of them, man, which is a good thing. That means that they're slowly but surely fading to to my past. Lexington, Minor, Michigan. It's in Georgia. Man, I know there's about 3 of them that I'm missing. I forget the last 3 that I transferred to, but I was transferring on purpose. I was transferring on purpose. Listen, like a lot of dudes would transfer to be near their families and be near their loved ones. Like if they have you in Atlanta, MCC Atlanta, the prison in Atlanta. Well, how could I forget Atlanta? I remember Jessup, but I forgot Atlanta. And Atlanta got a prison, a federal prison, right next to the projects, and the liquor store across the street. A literal federal prison next door to the projects in a liquor store across the street. Like in the words of Kevin Samuels, you just can't make this shit up. So it's 2 that I forget. So yeah, so if you were like, let's say they sentenced you and they sent you to, because let's say this is what will happen. The prison that's near your home is full. So you can't get there. You can't transfer there because it's full. If the max is 2,000 people, they don't crunch you into the federal prisons like they do in the States. They say, hey, you can't transfer you, so we're going to send you out to El Reno, Oklahoma. You like, Oklahoma? I'm from Chicago. Yeah, we're about to send you out to El Reno, Oklahoma. Chicago is full. And so you would have to wait to be able to transfer near Chicago to be able to see your family and stuff like that. That's how it was. Now me, I was like, I ain't got no kids, so I ain't got nobody I miss like that. All my girlfriends, that was doing the dope game, so I ain't had no real girlfriends. I cut all them off when I got arrested. And my mom and my sister, well, my mom couldn't drive. I mean, she didn't know how to drive, so because she had anxiety real bad our whole life, so she didn't know how to drive. And my sister and them were living in Cleveland, so I wasn't in no rush to be near Michigan, in other words. And so I just transferred around. I kid you not. I'm everywhere. By the time I got done, everybody knew me, man. Everybody knew Andre. I was everywhere. Wardens knew me, inmates knew me, guards knew me. It didn't matter. I was everywhere. I purposely bounced. By the time I got to one prison, got used to it, I'm bouncing. I'm bouncing to the next one. I'm bouncing to the next one. I broke my bid up. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to do 10 years in one prison. No, not Dre. No, not me. I broke that motherfucker like a puzzle. Kid you not, man. Kid you not. Hey, I'm just saying, brethren. Yeah. I broke it up like a puzzle, man. I broke that thing up like a bad relationship. Yep. Man. Let's see. But yeah, those are all the spots that I were. He said, hey, Dre, any key spots to hit while visiting Santo Domingo in DR going in December? I'm going to skip Sosua for now. Want to do something different. Hey, email me. Got some nice, I got some nice spots for you. I got some really nice spots for you. Some tourist spots, some historical spots, as well as the beach right off the Malecon. and also a couple of restaurants. Like we did a restaurant in the cave. Like they got a literal cave that you go into that's a restaurant, and it is nice, really nice, really nice. DR is really nice, man. We had a good time. The mall area, of course, the malls in DR, amazing in Santo Domingo. But there's a lot of great places to eat, man. A lot. I noticed also with Santo Domingo, especially downtown, there were a lot of really nice bars. Clubs, of course, they're clubs off the chain, but bars where if you just want to sit down, have a drink, and just enjoy your afternoon, your late afternoon, a lot of happy hour spots for the professionals down there, those type of spots. But yeah, definitely shoot me an email, aspence2011@gmail. Yeah. He said, what was your motivation for jumping around like, yeah, you build a reputation or leaving and having to start over again. Yeah, that's what it was. I just want to break my bid up. I don't want to do 10 years in one spot. Just 10 years, 10 whole years in one prison. Just ain't going nowhere. No, man, my bit went by. My bit went by fast. But my bit went by slow too. You know, you in there. It's 10 years, you feeling 10. But it was cool because I met so many people from, yeah, we went to that mall too. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Both of those. Yeah, I like, man, we like Santo Domingo. Really, it was, man, the only thing we didn't like about Santo Domingo was, in all sincerity, we love the food. Oh, we love the food. Just during the daytime, it was, you could tell you was in South Dominican Republic. It's like being in the South in the States where it's hot. That's how it is in Dominican Republic, man. The more southern you go, the hot. I mean, it is hot in the South. Santo Domingo is a very, very hot city. So much to do, but it's hot. It's hot. I can't lie to you. Oh, that's for Will. Okay, cool. Yeah, but that was my motivation, man, from going from place to place. I just was like, I don't know about do this 10 years in one spot. Y'all can do it like that. Because, you know, some dudes have families. So they wouldn't transfer because they finally made it to their home city or home state to where their families could come visit them every weekend. I ain't have all that. So I was just going to places to just break my bid up. I was breaking that thing up like a puzzle, like jujitsu. I'm chopping that thing up. Ain't no way in here. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the cuisine is really good. Really, really good. That's one thing that we ate good. Oh my God, we ate good. We ate good in Santo Domingo. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here, Uber can be tricky there. You know what I did? I mean, we're in a car. You know what? Those are two things that we didn't think about when we went there. We went there like 2021. I think it was 2021 we went. Yeah. And so we had a great time. We had a really great time, man. And didn't think about Sosua one bit. Not hating on Sosua, don't get me wrong. But just didn't think about it. We had such a good time in all the other places. Let's see something real quick. All right. I hate that I now discovered how to now that my man Theo is gone. Now I discovered how to give somebody a wrench. But now that he's gone, he's not in the live stream anymore. But now that I know how to do it, shout out to him. But yeah, guys, I'm about to head out, get some rest. You guys get some rest. It's about 1:10 in the States. Thank you guys for rolling with your boy and realizing that when you go to these other countries, there's some things that's going to have to, Did y'all check out Bocho? Did y'all go to Bocho? I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure. We may have, because that looks familiar. We were trying to hit as many. We did. We did by the beach. We ate good too. A couple that we know that lives in and we got us a bottle of rum, Havana rum, and we we went. Hey, this is the funny part. We went with this couple, right? And a shout out to my boy E. And, you know, they're part of our WhatsApp group. And so we finally got a chance to meet and hang out. Beautiful wife, beautiful, just great couple. Just a brother met his wife in DR. And so we drove to that beach area. So we drove, they picked us, we drove to the beach area. So all of us are in the water. Me, Andrea, now his wife is not in the water. Me, Andrea, and him, we're in the water all the way on the other side. And so we just kind of like chopping it up, having a good time in the water and just conversing. All of a sudden, we all three of us glanced and looked like, damn, who is? Now I ain't got my glasses on. All three of us looking like in the distance, like, damn, who is that sister coming into the water? Right? As she get closer, it's his wife. He feeling bad because I should have known my wife body or my wife look. I'm feeling back like I'm looking at this man's wife, like, you know, and of course Andrea wasn't looking in that sense, but it was kind of funny too. We both started laughing because me and him were thinking the same thing. He said, "Man, I didn't recognize that was my wife." I said, "Man, I ain't got my glasses on." I said, "All I saw was curves," and I was like, "Dang, who was that?" And so Andrea looked at us like, "Y'all blind." So yeah, we had a good time, man. We had a really good time there. You know, she said, "Y'all blind." It is, but let's put it like this, Will. When you don't go to certain areas for certain things, you can be oblivious. You can be oblivious to certain things. And since we were two couples that were there dining and having a good time, we were oblivious to that type of atmosphere that could remind us of Sosua. Like I said, I've never been to Sosua, so I couldn't compare it. So I have to agree with what you have to say. But because we were a couple of couples going, and we had the food was great, everything, man. And even though the roads were rough, let's put it like that. Parking was not easy to find, good parking, but we found some good parking. But once we got there, had a great time. The people that at the restaurant, they knew them from being there several times over. And so it was good to go with another couple that kind of like knew their way around that area. But yet we went there. Yep. It took me a second to remember, like, did we go there? I recognize that. That sounds familiar. And it's not far outside of Santo Domingo. It's like you just riding down the freeway and it's obviously to this beach area. And it's real cool, man. It's real cool. He's asking Will about Sosua. He said, I've taken guys to both places just to see, but I don't participate. Oh, I see what you're saying, Will. I can understand that. War Report says Boca Chica is the southern coast Sosua. I wouldn't have known that. This is the first time I hear that from you gentlemen. This is the first time. But this is the funny part. Based off of the YouTube videos of seeing Sosua and then being in Boca Chica, I could see where you guys are coming with that. And then when you guys sit back and say it's a pay-for-play atmosphere, now that I'm looking back, I can see that. I can see that how that could be that, because you got the hotels right there and everything. So if you want to be on the beach area in the hotel, you can, because there's a few hotels. So I can see where you guys are coming with that, without a doubt. But like I said, me being oblivious to thinking about it, I just was enjoying, the good company that I was with. That's a good point. Good point. Swab says, I have been everywhere but DR. Can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it, fellas. I can't do it. You ain't missing nothing. No, I can't say that. We like DR. We like the history of DR. We like the people of DR. It was so relaxing. When you're not going there for what a lot of guys traditionally going there for, it is a really fun place. We really had a ball in DR. I can't even lie about it. We really had a good time. Great food. You guys never talk about the food in DR, man. DR got some good food. He say, the pay for play guys don't know the regular spot. Now I get it. You don't do panels on your show, brother? Salute. Like I try to do panels like every once in a while, like on a Friday or something. But like on Wednesday nights when I know everybody got to go to work, I try to stay away from the panels too much because we know the panels. We be on the panel for like 6 hours, so I try not to be on the panels too much. But on Fridays, I try to do the panels, and that's every blue moon. But yeah, I like the panels. I'm up out of here, guys. Once again, this is Andre and Andrea. Love Crossing Borders. Thank you guys for being with me. Almost 4 hours, but thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you more than you realize, and I will see you guys I won't be seeing you guys this Friday. This Friday's your girl Andrea's birthday, so we're gonna be hanging out, having a good time, spoiling her for her birthday. I'm out of here, guys. You have a good one.